Ready.
All right. Bring back Don Cherry and everything will go back to normal. Sorry. Fuck, it sounded so scripted.
Yeah. For real, though. Bring them back.
Oh, I don't know what happened there.
Gang. You already know what it is. I heard the tap.
Yeah.
You just heard, like, I was playing that a second ago, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we heard
yeah.
the tap, but no horn.
So as you guys know, normally the show opens up with a... But it didn't work. I could hear and see him tapping. So now I know we're on. Sorry anyways. Gang. You already know what it is. I'm Styles the Prophet.
I'm B Show.
And I'm Jonesy.
I got a hair in my face. Together with the Basement Weirdos, and this is the 4G Audio Podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Much love,
sorry
everyone.
for the delay. But actually, speaking of the delay, something I have to say real quick. We'll get to the Don Cherry thing in a second. But please do me this favor. I also want to give a big thank you to all the people that have already done this and will continue to do this, I hope. But go to our Instagram or my Instagram, or if you want it and don't have Instagram, message one of us somehow. We'll send it to you. But I have a link to a contest that I'm in for the fucking dad bod thing. I can win a bunch of money and a thing in the magazine.
Tell 'em how much it
two-page
is.
article, 25 grand.
25 grand.
And a 2-page article in a magazine. So it would be greatly appreciated if you voted, and you can do it once a day. You have to do it on through the link. When you click the link, you have to actually sign in. You have to have an Facebook so that it
account.
proves that you're a real
Yeah.
person.
Super easy. Just type in your Facebook username and password. Done.
Do that, and you can vote once a day.
Every day.
Like I said, I want to thank everybody who did do it, because last Thursday I got into the top 15, and this Thursday I'm into the top 10 now, and hopefully next Thursday I'll be into the top whatever they cut next time. But I
Top
can
5.
only do that with your help. So
That's pretty good bragging rights too, eh? Number one dad bod.
yeah,
like
fucking
an
$25,000.
yeah, I'm
25 grand.
the best looking fat dude.
So on top of all that, tell them about the compadre vote.
Oh, there's compadre votes as well. You can pay $1 per vote, so then you can vote more than once a day.
And help this guy win.
Win.
And maybe you win as well. You know what I mean? Compadre votes. You should
So-
you should keep track of who does a compadre vote,
True that.
and you know what I mean?
True that. Compadre votes. So even if you fucking do one, it's $1.
Yeah, can
But
they
I
choose how
imagine-
much they
I don't
pay
know.
for a
I don't know. There
compadre?
might be a fucking either way. I was thinking about doing some kind of giveaway where if people contribute to me and can prove that they contributed to me doing this, even I might just do votes for whatever. Anyways, we'll get more into it. I'll give you more details, whatever. But my point is that if you would go vote for me, that would be fucking super
Oh, yeah.
quick. What does it say? Mute. But we'll watch later. Oh, I see. Anyways, I thought they were saying we're on mute. But yeah, so that'd be awesome if you guys would vote for me. You can vote once a day. And like I said, next Thursday they're doing another cut. I fortunately moved up to 8th place from 11th over the last 2 weeks with your help, which
That's
thank
pretty
you
big.
again. So
Yeah.
yeah. And so if I can make the next cut and maybe even win the contest, I'll be fucking happy.
Oh yeah.
But anyways, on with the show. Please go do that. The other thing though is we were talking about, I said if we bring back Don Cherry,
Bring him back?
maybe everything will go back to normal.
Hell yeah.
And so I was caught off guard. That's why it sounded like I was like it was scripted, or I was like saying it weird.
Yeah.
But no, I just thought one day, I don't know, it's definitely like you said, like a movie thing or something. But it's like maybe, you know, bring back Don Cherry and like COVID goes away and like, you know, everything
balance out the fucking equilibrium of
Yeah.
this world.
bring back the good and it'll balance out the evil. You
Yeah.
know, like shit. And
Oh,
all
yeah.
the separation and shit and the hate and stuff. So I don't know, maybe let's just try it for like a couple nights.
Yeah. Hockey is back after all.
Yeah. So I mean, let's see. This would be the season to test that out.
Yeah.
Hey, I got it
That's
working.
great.
Fucking right. Show doesn't officially start until the fucking
There you
ham
go.
horn
Yeah.
goes.
So now
Right.
we're on, guys.
Everything's good over there. Yeah. I heard some noises and shit.
I had to turn off the thing here and turn it back on again. So
Okay.
that's
We
what
good.
that noise was.
We
But-
good.
At the same time, too, I know I'm jumping topics back and forth, but
Oh, well, let's
at the
get
same
it.
time, too, a 2-page article for 4G Audio Podcast would be fucking amazing. Doesn't matter what magazine. I don't even know what magazine it is
Yeah, I was
in,
about to
but
say,
doesn't even
like,
matter what
we're-
magazine
yeah.
it is. It's fucking. I forget. I've seen it, but. Oh, and also too, my brother just texted me and reminded me something very important to go with that is that the money that you pay for the paid votes actually goes to like the Be Positive so and so foundation or whatever.
Oh,
It
yeah?
actually goes to something. It's like, not just like putting money in someone's pocket or
To
whatever.
nowhere. Yeah, right.
I mean, it probably goes to someone's pocket at
to
some
that
point.
$25,000 fucking reward. And maybe some of it back into your pocket. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, I was mentioning maybe I would do that.
Yeah, I shouldn't fucking talk.
At the same time, I don't know if I get enough. If I get enough votes, then maybe the other thing too is I can actually see. It shows the last 3 people who voted for you,
Oh, yeah?
so I can actually see who votes
Oh, yeah.
too. I don't usually watch it. I only noticed it today, but so at that same point too, I could
Yeah.
even just like pick the
Pick
names
it.
as they're coming, and
Right,
just
yeah.
write them all down.
For sure.
But I don't know. We'll see. But either way, that would be much appreciated. Maybe the link will be in the description too. That'd be fucking dope as hell. I don't know how all this works.
In the
but,
link tree.
We can make that happen.
It'll be in our link tree.
something else I want to mention too. Oh no, but I mean like because it's only on Instagram, the link tree.
Right.
So they have to
Oh,
have
yes.
Instagram, right?
Right.
But the other thing I want to mention too is that so I actually accidentally booked 2 guests tonight, by accident.
How ironic, eh? And we end up here.
But as you can see, I think this
Just
happened to us
Funny how
before
things
too.
work, eh?
Yeah.
Where I had 2 guests
right.
and no one showed up. But yeah, so as you can see, we don't have any guests. But I did book 2 by accident, and I'm sorry to both of them for doing that. But that had no effect on what's happening now.
We could have squeezed both of them in. No
We
problem.
were gonna try and
Well-
squeeze them in, but one of them actually had a good reason and just said, "Look, man, I can't fucking do it right now." And we had a miscommunication on dates and stuff and
Mm,
whatever. So then that one was canceled. So we're like, "Okay, cool, we'll just do the one." And then that guy didn't show up. But no hard feelings. I'm just explaining to everyone that that's why it's just us tonight. And we
Shit.
did have somebody we did have somebody booked or guest
Yeah.
booked. But
we should have brought that other game. And the peanuts just for fucking.
True that. Oh, the other game. Oh,
Challenge.
yeah. I still have those
No,
fucking little
it's a joke.
magnets from that other game.
Yeah. Man,
Yeah.
I barely remember that other game. It's almost been a year since
Was
we
that
played.
New Year's?
Yeah. And we actually haven't, I don't think we successfully played through that, did we?
No, I don't think so either. I think we just ended up reading the questions and asking the questions.
Yeah.
As the night I hurt I didn't hurt my back. My back's always been fucked. But just before you guys showed up or whatever, I fucking was smoking a joint on the front porch. It's cold in the winter.
Oh, I hate
cough
it.
on the
You're
joints and
tense,
shit.
man. I
And
hate
like,
it.
so I'm sitting there shivering, fucking smoking this joint. I was coughing. Like every puff you take, you cough
Yeah.
because it's cold and shit. Coughing. And we were standing there with the door, like the screen door open like this and holding it because the wind was blowing and like might even been snowing too. But anyways, the
Yeah.
wind was blowing and stuff. So we're hiding behind that. So I was holding the door and I was like, took a puff and I coughed. My buddy was standing behind me. Like he might even grab me. I forget. But I started to I literally started to fall down. I couldn't hold the door open anymore. It's like closing in on me. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, shit. Oh, fuck. And then it just didn't get any better.
Yeah, New Year's. It's on a Friday this year, too.
Is it?
Yeah, that
Ooh,
it is.
that means.
Another fucking.
You can't celebrate it unless you're double vaccinated, though.
Oh, yeah, you can't
It's off
celebrate it.
limits. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to attend New Year's.
Yeah, you can't even have a party by yourself.
You have to stay in 2021.
Yeah. No advancing
Imagine
going,
that.
no collecting $200.
Us in the
You
year
stay.
2023.
Yeah.
You guys still in 2021. Like,
Yeah.
It just never goes forward for you. I just wouldn't have to get my license renewed then, I guess.
Stay young forever.
I hope
Yeah.
that happens, man, because I feel like that's going to happen to me. Like,
Well, now
I
they're
gotta
saying that you
that
need to
shit
get your
done.
fucking vaccine to get it.
Yeah,
That's fucked up.
yeah. Because
But
they'll
That's
like,
what I mean is if we stay in the same year, we won't have to fucking get it renewed.
Right, yeah.
So then we won't even
It'd be
fucking.
legal forever.
Yeah,
No-
forever.
Now they're saying you can't fly
Not even another sticker.
unless
you
you're
know?
like in the fucking process of
Yeah.
getting it or whatever.
travel
So like
at all.
Gordon was
train.
like, well, I guess we'll just like always be in the fucking process of doing it or whatever. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, good call. She's like, yeah, just keep canceling your dates or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
something came up, man.
oh
Sorry.
shit, I'm fucking in Mexico.
Man, they're calling now. You guys get a call?
No,
I got a
no.
call just the other day. It was like some random number, you know. Usually you'd probably ignore them, be like, oh, this is a call I answer, and it's like, you want a fucking free flight, or it's like no one's there and it eventually hangs up on
Right.
you, you know what I
Get those
mean?
calls a lot.
I answered this one and they're like, hi, is this Brandon? Yeah. Oh, we're just wondering if you're interested in getting vaccinated. And I'm like, oh, you're calling people now? and the chick was
That's
like, sorry? And I was like, oh, like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh, yeah, like, yeah, sure. Like, I've been thinking about it. And she's all like, oh, well, your local pharmacies does pop-ups. Do you know about them? I'm like, no, but now that I
Do now.
do, I'll take care of it myself. Thanks. Have a good day.
Yeah, my buddy said his
Yeah.
doctor called him. He was like, hey,
That's
like,
weird. I'm not getting any phone calls.
you want to do that? Me neither, yeah. I don't want.
Yeah.
phone
Well, the
call.
one thing with me is if I don't, I won't be able to be there for the delivery of my child in
Oh,
February.
no.
What was it like for you? Because you're like, what, just like
Yeah, no.
5 months ago? Yeah?
Just under 5 months.
Change the hospital.
It wasn't that bad.
I
Like
don't
we
know.
got a semi-private room. Like
But you were
because of
allowed
it.
there?
I was allowed there.
Yeah. See, everything's changing right now because you got to be vaccinated in all
Right.
hospitals. Pretty
That's
well.
right. Yeah, you can't even visit people that are in the hospital
Mhm.
unless
Yeah.
you're vaccinated.
Because asking wasn't doing the trick, so now they have to fucking
Yeah,
force
yeah,
you.
exactly.
That's
yeah.
wild, man. That's
I have
like,
a whole
that's
PDF.
It's
on-
crazy. Like,
that's
if
a
you
spot
have
to be
ki-
put into, man. Like yeah,
It's
if
a-
you have kids, like, I mean, like, you almost have to get it or what? You know what I mean?
Well, even I was like, "Fuck, man!" I'm like,
What are you gonna
my
do?
my
Like,
son doesn't have to be vaccinated to go into a restaurant, but I do, right?
yeah,
So I'm like,
and
fuck
he
you,
will
I-
eventually.
you will. Yeah, they're pushing for like
12 and
it's-
up.
well, I thought it's
5.
already. I think it's 5.
They're saying within a week, 5 and up could be a thing.
Yeah, because it's already at like 12 and
12.
over.
Yeah.
Oh, my brother texted me, said my dad got a call for me.
About
he
the
fielded it
vax?
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so I have a PDF here from our lawyer friend that's all about all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like it says, where the fuck does this say? Forced injections are an assault.
Right.
And then it shows like it's like section 265 1 of the Criminal Code of Canada states a person commits an assault when A, without the consent of another person, he applies force intentionally to that person directly or indirectly.
Right.
3 states the exercise of authority. So like for the purpose of this section, no consent is obtained where the complainant submits or does not resist by reason of exercise of authority.
Right.
So like that falls into there, right? There's 11 pages all on this shit. I read a bunch of it, but like it's like a bunch of shit,
Right.
man. Like I was just like, what the fuck? I'm like, it's actually like illegal. Like, you charge somebody with this shit. You know what I mean? It's like
That's
I'm like,
right.
that's fucked up.
It almost sounds like it means like physically forced upon.
No, that
though,
was
you
the
know what I
first
mean?
one. That was the first one. Sorry,
Oh,
that was
okay.
the first one. The second one says oh shit.
Hold on, will you find the exact same paragraph again?
Yeah, well, I
so
went out of it,
that's
so I
my
had to
bad.
I had to go back into the fucking
My bad.
PDF and shit. So yeah, the first one says without the consent of another person, he applies force intentionally to that person directly or indirectly.
Right.
So that's A,
Mm-hmm.
and then D. It just shows the two sections or whatever.
D, okay.
D is for the purpose of this section, no consent is obtained where the complainant submits or does not resist by reason of exercise of authority. So basically saying like when we give in because they're like, oh shit, they're not gonna let me do that
You
thing.
can't do any.
I want to do it. So they're saying that that's assault too.
Really,
Because you're like
forcing them,
you're
basically backing them
It's
into a
black.
corner.
yeah, you're
with
not
no other
physically
choice.
like forcing it on them, but you're like if you want
It's
this, you
indirectly,
fucking
yeah.
like you know.
You cannot do anything unless you submit to this.
Yeah.
And like the Nuremberg Code and stuff like that. Like it covers a bunch of shit in here, but it was just like I was like, holy fuck, man! I was like, that's fucked up.
Right.
And that's like I said, that's right from our legal team, and
Yeah.
he was forwarded that from somebody
And
else.
that's it, man. Because like I'll admit right now, like I'll get vaxxed only because of my fucking children. Only.
But that's what
I-
I'm saying, man. That's a
I-
fucked up spot to be put into.
Absolutely, I
That's
agree.
that
You shouldn't.
people
You
shouldn't-
shouldn't have to be. You know, because I'll be doing something in my life that I don't agree with at all, and I'll almost have to like put it in the back of my mind in a way. You
You
know
could
what I
be
mean?
poisoning it with your
But
mind.
I don't want to put. You know what I mean? I don't want to miss the birth of my
Of
child.
course.
I don't want my children to grow up being like, why? You know what I mean? And I think that's exactly why they do it, because it's not about how we take it. They know we'll push and shove and be like, oh, screw this, screw that. But it's our children's generation. They'll be like, they won't. They know they don't know any better, right? They
Yes.
grow up into it, and that's the new world order. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
That's exactly how it works.
mhm.
For sure.
So it makes me, you know what I mean? That's my opinion on it. I don't
Yeah.
really want to, but I do it for my children because, like, my children deserve the best or whatever,
Absolutely.
right?
But like I say, man, that's a crazy spot for someone to be put in.
You
and,
shouldn't
like,
have to be put in that position.
It should always be
sure.
volunteer. If you
Yeah.
want to consider yourself like a free democracy with votes and people get to choose what they put in their body or what they don't
Mhm.
put in their body or whatever. Like even with like the vaccinations for kids for schools, right? Like I'm
Mhm.
all for that. Like it makes sense scientifically. Like
Right.
vaccinate your kids.
But they said it doesn't affect kids. They can just carry it.
I'm not
Are you
talking about for COVID. I'm talking about for just
Oh,
all
yeah,
the,
sorry,
when
normal
kids have to get
vaccinations, yeah.
vaccinated to be permitted to school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like there's a way that you just got to sign a waiver to say, look, I don't believe in this, or it's against my religion, or I'm whatever, but they can't stop you from going to school
Right.
as long as you sign this thing.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to do it. Right? Because they legally can't force you.
Yeah.
Right? So they're changing the law, or they're just skirting the law completely
Mm-hmm.
and forcing you indirectly to get these vaccinations that they shouldn't have the right to force you to get.
Yeah.
It should always be voluntary,
Yeah.
no matter what it is.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Man, it'd be different if it was
everything
like 60% of the fucking people are fucking dying or some shit, or like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That too.
And I'd be like, holy fuck,
Yeah.
like, like, give me whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I'll
Exactly.
drink battery acid if that's going to help me
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something, I mean, that's far-fetched, but I mean, like, at the same time, like, yeah, whatever it is, like, it's an experiment,
Yeah.
cool, like, everyone's fucking dying, you know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
like 0.1%
Yeah.
that, like, doesn't survive or whatever,
That's
so
it.
then it's like, okay, man, I'll be,
Yeah,
like,
most people that get it recover just fine, and
Yeah,
a
right.
lot of people that get it don't even know they had it,
yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
and a lot
And-
of people don't even show symptoms even if they
Yeah.
do have it. So it's
Yeah.
like, why?
I look
Yeah,
at it like
it's-
the flu, man. It's like I'd rather build my immunities against it. You know what I haven't got the
Absolutely.
flu
That's
shot.
how, like the
in
human
a-
race survived for a quarter million
Yeah,
years,
exactly.
Yeah.
like,
I haven't got the flu shot in a long time, and that's kind of what I believed in, right? I've been healthy as can be over the last 2 years since COVID hit, so it's like really hard for me to be like, yeah,
yeah.
I want to take
That's the
that
thing. Like,
jab.
that's a risk
like,
you should be like. It's your prerogative to take that risk, right?
yeah,
If you're immune compromised or whatever, and
yeah, I totally
you
get
like,
it.
okay, I want to have this because I want to cover all my bases,
Yeah.
then you should go right
Absolutely.
for
Yeah.
it. You right?
Yeah,
I don't want to hold it against you. Like fucking do what you got to do.
but that's
But
part
if
of
you
the
want to
fucking.
consider yourself living in a free, open, democratic, open society,
Yeah,
definitely forcing like this kind of like thing on the population.
don't worry about what your neighbor's doing. Take
It's
care of yourself.
crazy.
Man,
And that's what they got
like, it's
people doing,
insane.
right?
Last-
They're like, hey, like ask right now. It's like Thanksgiving's allowed, but you should be asking your
Yeah.
family
And sometimes-
it's like a
vaccination
natty
So-
state. Like, why
Yeah.
do I? Oh, thanks, government. You're gonna allow me
Yeah.
to fucking
Now I have to
Exactly.
be
with
the
my
police.
family? Go
Yeah,
fuck
exactly.
yourself.
But like, man, my buddy was saying last weekend. Oh shit, I almost lost it. Wait, so we were talking about some of this shit last weekend, and like, man, his sister fucking offered to pay him money to get the fucking vaccine,
Wild.
and then she doubled it, and then he went to his dad, was like, yo, like fucking whatever. She's like trying to bribe me to get it or
Bribe,
whatever.
yeah.
He's like, you know what? He's like, I'll give you $1,000 not to get it. And his brother's
Just
like,
keep playing them back
Yeah.
against each
yeah,
other.
yeah. His brother's
Go
like,
on,
I'll
how
give
much
you
you gonna pay?
700 not to get it. So his brother and his dad were like, I'll give you fucking $1,700 altogether not to get it.
Crazy.
She's like, I'll give you 2 to get it, you know? But anyways, we were talking about all this shit, and I was like, dude, I'm like, why do I have to wear a condom when like you're having sex? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
like you know what I mean? Like I was just like, that's so fucked up. And he was like,
a
yo.
strange analogy. Yeah.
Well, and he was like,
Makes
yo, that's a
sense.
good analogy. But like at the same time, like it's a little bit different, I guess, because like if I'm not having sex, then I don't have the risk of the whatever. Getting
Yeah.
pregnant or having the fucking things like the STDs and shit. So it is like a weird, like bad analogy. But at the same time, it's like why does it matter to you when you're having sex with the condom on?
Yeah.
Like, why are you thinking about whether or not I have one on? You know what I mean? Like, it's
See, this is what I don't understand, right? So, like, let's say for argument's sake, like, if you're double vaccinated, you can still get COVID.
yeah,
And you can still spread it.
Yeah.
Right? It just severely reduces your risk of having like major complications and being
Yeah.
put in the ICU and shit. Right? So you can still get it, you can still spread it, but you're less likely to get really, really sick.
if anything, they're gonna
Great,
modify
right?
it.
If that's that thing, right? You're no more or less at risk of catching it or spreading it.
Yeah. Well, it's like one of my buddies explained to me. He's like, basically, he's like, the percentage goes down, right? So he's like, you being unvaxxed, you have this percentage of surviving from it, right? He's like, so me unvaxxed, I have a better percentage of getting it and a better I have a better chance of getting it, and I have a less percentage of surviving from it or whatever, less chance of surviving from it, but it's like minuscule, it's not much, right?
Right.
But what he explained to me was like, with all of that together, they're like the vaccinated person's survival rate from this thing or whatever the percentage is lower. So basically, by getting the vaccine, they brought their percentage up. I mean, sorry.
Right.
So they have a
Survival.
better percent chance of fucking not getting it and fucking getting rid of it, right? So I was like, okay, I see what you're trying to do is you're trying to make the number better, so you go from like a 98% to like a 99% chance of surviving or whatever. But like I said, it'd be different. Like I said, if it was 60% of these people were dying, and it was like you have a 40% survival rate, but this gives you a 90% survival rate,
Man,
then
fuck,
fucking
never
give me
mind
it like
60%. Even if like 3 or 4%, or like even a whole like 2%, you know what I mean? Like that's a lot of people.
it's true,
right?
but I
That's an
mean,
insane amount. Like,
but at the same time, it's like,
but it's
I
not
mean,
even close to that.
I just mean like until like literally people are fucking like dying all around me and shit, like, you know, like fucking outbreak and shit like
Yeah.
that, then I'm like, I don't really see the fucking like need for it, right?
I think Ontario, like Ontario is like 14.5 million
Mm-hmm.
population. I think that we've like had in all of Ontario like 30,000, like just above 30,000 cases.
Cases total.
Yeah.
For real.
Oh, okay. But the thing is too
I'll
though is
double-check
like
that number, but I'm
like
pretty
you
sure
said
that's
though
what it
is like if you're in a room with somebody who has the vaccine and you don't, they have a better, like, it's the exact same thing. That's what I keep saying is I'm like, we're in the exact same position as we were last fucking year or like last March even. We're in the same position. I can give it to you, you can give it to me. We're all fucking like, you're vaxxed, I'm not. I can give it to you, you can give it to me.
Yeah.
Fucking, if anything, you're better off than I am. So then what the fuck does it matter to you
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck I do? Because it's such a total different, like, I mean, totally like in the exact same situation. It's just
Yeah.
you now feel safer for your own
Yeah.
peace of mind. It's like bicycle helmets.
Exactly.
When you're
yeah.
18, you can decide whether you wear a bicycle helmet. If that makes you feel more comfortable, then good for you.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't want to wear one, then why do you have to force it on me? You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
not whatever, right? And I guess it's different because it's not like you can pass on fucking brain trauma, but
Right,
you
but,
know, like, but it's still the same thing. It's like, why do you?
The
like,
risk is on
you're
you, though.
safe.
That's the
Yeah,
thing,
I'm
right?
making,
Like,
I'm doing the risk.
We
so
can
like,
spread
why?
the flu and shit still.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but
Like,
even too, like, where'd the flu go last year?
oh, everybody was wearing their masks and staying indoors, and nobody
Yeah.
was seeing
Oh,
each
that's
other.
right.
So just
Yeah,
convenient.
yeah.
if you were sick with the flu, they call it COVID.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, they just, as for like children, if you had a fucking sniffle,
Yeah.
they wouldn't even let you bring your child to daycare.
Yeah, man. My buddy had to stay home from fucking work one day with both his kids because whenever they went, like, you have to go in and I guess like sign in or something
Yeah.
or like meet the teacher or whatever. So they went in and like the one like little girl or whatever was like sniffling, but it was like fucking cold outside and shit.
Yeah.
He's like, man, he's like, we just walked from the car and shit. And like, this was like earlier this year, or
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, like February, March, whatever. Man, it's fucking cold. We walk in, she's like sniffling. They're like, no, you can't come in.
Yeah.
Oh, like she's her sister, and like you guys came from the same house. Like
Same
she
house?
can't come
Yeah.
either or whatever. They have to get tested and
Oh,
all
yeah.
this shit and whatever. And he's like, man, he's like, she fucking wasn't even sick. Like we just like walked in,
Yeah.
you know, out of the cold or whatever, right? And I was
Mhm.
just like, that's fucked. He goes, yeah, I gotta fucking stay home. I was like, that's fucked, man.
Oh,
But like
yeah.
just little shit. I mean, I get it, like being safe and shit. Like Bentley actually was sick, super sick,
Mhm.
and he had to get tested and shit and fucking. But he was actually like really, really, really sick, I
Yeah.
guess. But he didn't have
He
COVID,
didn't
I
have
guess.
Yeah,
I actually
just the
took my
flu,
first
man.
COVID test the other day. My buddy's
Just the other day.
yeah,
right?
I just did it for fun. My buddy's like, "You want to do one?" I'm like, no." And he goes, "That's exactly how I felt, man." He goes,
Yeah.
he's like, I didn't want to do it. He's like, I felt like it was gonna give me COVID. Like that's what he said.
Yeah,
I'm like,
right.
I'm not afraid of it giving me COVID. I'm afraid of being like,
Psychologically,
I don't even know that I
like-
have it. And then I test and it's like, oh shit. I'm like, what happens if I test it and fucking it's positive or
Right,
whatever,
yeah.
right? And like, I don't even know or I didn't know or whatever. Right? He goes, well, I guess we all got to like quarantine and shit. And I'm like, yeah, but like, that's the thing is, had we not done this, we wouldn't be in
Never
that
would've,
situation,
yeah.
right?
Ignorance is bliss.
So
Yeah.
then I'm like, whatever, let's do it. I've never done one. And it's not the one where you like,
Jam it up your
fucking,
nose. or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah. It's just you fucking rub it around it says to go up to the bridge of your nose, but it says you
Yeah.
rub it around 5 times and then rub it around the other one 5 times. I caught a booger in mine.
Yeah, of course.
And you put it in this little tube, you squirt these like drops in,
Yeah.
and then you put it in the tube and you leave it for a little bit, and the tube has like a top and a bottom, like a
Yeah.
cap on both sides.
Right.
So whenever you open the bottom, there's like a little dropper, and you like
Oh yeah.
and
yeah.
drop it onto this little like a little pad with like a little
It's
circle
like a
in it.
pregnancy test.
Exactly, yeah. And
Yeah.
and so yeah, we do that, and he's like, I'm sitting there waiting, and I'm like, how long has it been? He's like, just give it 15 minutes, man. I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck, man, like what the fuck? Like, what
Are
the
we
fuck?
pregnant or
Yeah.
not?
And it's funny though, because it all turns purple. The whole strip turns purple,
Yeah.
and then after the little while, it goes away, and it's just all white except for the one little strip.
The line. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, "Is that good? Is that good?" He's like, "Yeah, you're good." We sat there for a while, like a couple hours. It was just sitting on the table because he's like, "If you want, you can go burn this." And I was like, "He's like, I burnt mine right away." I'm like, "Oh,
Why?
why?"
Yeah,
And he goes,
yeah.
He's like, "I don't want anybody knowing." He's like, "First of all, that's my DNA."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Second of all,
Oh,
he's like,
fuck.
I don't want anyone knowing that I did it, right? Like, you know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
right.
let's say they fucking." He's also really paranoid. Like, he's the kind of guy that will hide stuff that we know is associated to like weed and stuff like that, but like no one else would know. Like he hid the tape one time because we were using it to like tape down parchment paper whenever we were like doing shatter and stuff. And the next day I go to his house. I'm like, "Yo, where's the parchment paper and the tape?" I'm like, he's like, "Oh, is it not in that drawer?" I'm like, "The drawer I put it in yesterday?" "No, it's not." He's like, "Oh, it's in the drawer beside it." I look. I'm like, "No, it's not." Runs around the house. He's like, "I can't find it." He goes, "I remember last night I hid it." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, just in case anyone came." I'm like, "No one." He
Yeah, that's like a crazy out like paranoid thought. Like,
well,
not
and
to
he
have,
doesn't,
like-
and he doesn't have like he doesn't like. It's not like he has any reason to be paranoid. Like he's
Yeah,
not
right.
doing anything bad. He's like lives with his kid and his wife and shit. You know what I mean? Like but it's just that old habits die young. I guess he used to like fucking do a lot of shit that would make him fucking think all this shit, right?
Mm.
But so now whenever he smokes weed, he just gets like right fucking. He actually now he's fucking completely quit smoking weed. Like one of the me and him like same smoking weed, you know, like we're big potheads, and like yeah, he's like, "Oh, I completely quit," because he's like gets right fucking high and paranoid. And his heart's pounding shit like that. But no, yeah, he's like, so anyways, he's like, yeah, you want to fucking throw it in the fire and shit? I'm like, I'll throw it down the road if you don't want me to throw it in your garbage, like whatever. But anyways, my point is, it's been sitting there for a while, right? We've been there for 2 hours, whatever. We already got the results, whatever. We're sitting there, and like I said, whenever you put the drops in, it goes along the whole strip, and then it all whatever settles, and like so it just has the one line. So anyways, later we're sitting there, and I look at it, I'm like, oh fuck, man. And the other line was like just like not even like, I tried to take a picture of it, you couldn't even see it on the picture, but it was just kind of coming through. I'm like, is it coming through because it's been sitting there like in the liquid the whole time, or like it, like whenever we found out that like we were having my son, that's what the pregnancy test looked like. Like it was like, not that, it was more like there was more of a line. Yeah. But like it was like one was strong and one was like, and so I'm like, man, I'm like, fuck right off. Yeah. Anyways, whatever. But yeah, I just, like I said, we just did it for fun, and he did it. His girlfriend gets them because they have to test themselves, before they go into work. They have like, they have, they work at the hospital and shit. Like his mom and his girlfriend work there, and so like, they have to do them or whatever. And the funny thing is like, well, maybe I fucking shouldn't say this, but he's like, yeah, fucking, he asked his mom about it. She's just like, no, she don't fucking do that. Like, the fuck? She's like, I'm good.
Do what? Sorry.
The test. Like, she doesn't, because they'll ask her, like, oh, did you do the test? Like, yeah. There's no, like, you don't have to bring it in or show them a picture.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's in the honor system. They said, oh, no, it's just the honor system. She's like, the fuck. So then my buddy's like, do you fucking do it?
That kind of rings like bells. Like if like
she's like, no, I don't fucking do it.
I think so. Like even people when like these, I think like a lot of jobs are threatening, or employers are threatening jobs for like, people that don't get it or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know if they like, isn't there like things in like the Charter of Rights that like they can't do shit like that, and like,
wait, like what?
They can't force.
Like, oh no, yeah, it's true though. No, it's like, true.
Like,
well, because
like
even
nurses, for example, like
my buddy,
biggest example,
he got a fucking memo or email or whatever at work, and like fucking everyone was like freaking out and shit. Like, so the people who were vaxxed were like, oh, I'm good. People who weren't were like, what the fuck? This is stupid, right? So he just walked out into the like people all meeting saying it's stupid, and he's like, you guys didn't read far enough in the email. Yeah. And like in the email, it's like, basically, like, we're requesting that everyone gets vaccinated and this and that and blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. End of fucking memo or whatever. And then there's, like, maybe not end of, but I guess there's, like, another, like, section or whatever, or another, like, piece of it. And somewhere in there, as you read along, it says, like, however, like, we cannot force this on you, but we are requesting that you do it. So he went out and was like, hey, guys. He's like, it says, yeah, you got to get it done, but it also says, we can't force you, Yeah. So even him saying that, he's like, man, he's like, why would they put that in there?
But see, like they can't force you technically. Like, but can they fire you? Like that's that kind of weird gray. Like, yeah, of course they can't.
Yeah.
Force you to do anything.
But you know it's a weird situation. CERB almost pays more than the average wage, so people are quitting their jobs anyways.
I thought CERB was over.
No, well now it's under.
So too.
It's under they arranged it. It's like under.
Now it's the other one, CRB or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's under unemployment and CRB.
But see, like
whatever, they're still giving it out for sure. And apparently, you don't have to pay it back anymore either.
What?
That's what I heard. You have free money. That sounds.
Now that you say that though too, but the fucking firing people and shit is the hospital that these people work at. Is basically it's either the 10th or the 15th of October. A bunch of people are leaving because they don't have their vaccine and they're not getting it.
Well,
then in Renfrew, one of the same dude. So his girlfriend and his fucking mom work at the one hospital, and then like in another town, his fucking ex, like his baby, like his kid's mom or whatever, works at this other hospital, and there's fucking 200 people as of the same day, like 10th or 15th or whatever, 200 people leaving, and it's like 50 or 60 of them are doctors.
That's crazy.
That's insane.
That sounds like they're almost like it's like a rebellion almost, because I think
well, my question is, why aren't the doctors taking it?
Yeah,
think they would be, but I mean, they shouldn't be forced to. That's the thing, right? Like,
I don't think they're forced. They're doing well. I think it's by
They're saying October, you have to fucking leave, or you have to get it or leave
by October. The end of October, I'll say. I think 26th, but
he said it was like
you
fucking...
have to be in a federal business. So I guess hospitals, whatever, you have to be vaccinated or you can't work. That's the rule. Yeah. So they're probably doing that as a protest to be like, here, we'll do it 2 weeks earlier and see how the fuck.
No, they're not like leaving. They're like, that's the date. Like he said, that's the date.
Okay.
So
right.
It's like I said, I know that it's like early, like not early, but it's in the first half at least.
Right.
So it's either the 10th or the 15th or something.
That shit's like not. That's just like this week.
Yeah. And that's fucked because
Monday's
like, buddy said, he goes, what's gonna happen though? And I was like, man, I don't know, like whatever. I'm like,
scary shit, man.
maybe there's like other people that can fill those spots. And he's like, but what if there isn't? I was like, honestly, I think shit's gonna get all fucked up. And then someone said last night that we were talking about the same thing, and like they shed some more light on it. They're like, man, that's when they're gonna bring the military in.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, that's fucked up. But what I was thinking is, what if like you can't go to this hospital, you can't go to that hospital, fucking all these people left this hospital because they're unvaccinated and shit, right? Maybe there's gonna be like fucking private hospitals or something show up, or like you know, there's gonna be the like unvaxxed hospital where it's like the fucking, hey, you guys, all the doctors come here, I got a bunch of money type thing. Like,
you know, I was picturing in a world like where doctors can set up their own private practice and, you know, get paid in some sort of cryptocurrency where they don't have
come to that, you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's completely like
Like a
private, like, private
chiropractor.
contract. Like, I'll do this job, you provide the funds. There's no middleman, there's no government.
Yeah.
Like, we're just gonna
Who's to
modern
say they
age,
can't do
modern
that,
age
right?
Mad Max shit.
Yeah, man, that's for real what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like,
that's-
what's the movie where the fucking guy brings the books? Oh wait,
Books?
it's coming.
The
no.
Book of Eli?
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Denzel Washington?
Fucking right. Awesome fucking movie, by the way.
Yeah,
but
it
it's like
is.
that fucking movie, like the same, like post-apocalyptic type fucking shit, you know? And like the guy, like I can't remember. I watched the movie a couple times. I can't remember exactly, but there's something about this one specific book. But then like there's a guy that has like a bunch of books. He has like a library or whatever,
Like
but
the
he's like trying to
bookkeeper,
get
basically.
that book or whatever. But the thing is the books are the like not currency, but they're like gold. They're like they're like the thing that makes the world go round type
Right.
thing, you know? Like
I
everybody
thought
wants,
they,
and this
like,
guy like
told-
has them all or something.
Right. I thought it was something like it told not the future, but yeah, I can't even.
Yeah,
remember.
his book actually was just the Bible. I'm
The
pretty
Bible.
sure. Yeah,
right.
yeah. His
That's
book
what
was
I
just
thought.
the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just mean like they had the fucking
A scene.
the books were like a big thing. Like
Right.
they might even like there might even been like the normal people like thought they didn't exist anymore or something like that or whatever.
Right.
But there was this one, he was like the bad guy or whatever, right? And he had like all the fucking books in this
Yeah,
place
right.
or whatever. But my point is, it's like same idea, right? Like just the like not that the books had anything to do with that thing, but or the relation, but it's just like there's gonna be, I guess the books are like the crypto or something, you know what I mean? Like it's like something else has completely different value than it did before that,
Right.
and now that there's nothing, it's like everyone's like, oh, I know a guy, and like, oh yeah, cool, like, oh, we got to go to the next little like town or like, you know, like what do you call, what were they calling those things, the tent city things,
The what? Sorry.
the tent city things? There's a name for it. Tent city, there's a name for it. Like they were calling them something. There was one in that doesn't matter, but there was one
slum. Like I
no,
don't know.
they called
Yeah,
it like, no, it
tent
was
city.
like they weren't part of the fucking, they were like their own city. Like they weren't part of the fucking city. Like they were like their own thing. Like they
Right.
called it something else too. Like it was like, but they had it. So this place, the one, it's a real place, but it had a name for it as a place, but it was also like the like general term for that type of place. Is another thing. They were calling them, they were popping up. There was a couple of them all over this, there are a couple of them. There's like maybe 3 of them all over the States or whatever.
Yeah.
And they were calling them something like it was like a, but that's like the definition of what it is. They like, it's where
Right.
you like I said, you literally like, we would just get together and be like, all right, we're going to start this little like almost like commune type thing, right? Like,
Oh, they did that whenever fucking all this shit
The riots and stuff,
started
yeah.
in Seattle. Do you remember?
Seattle, that's it, yeah.
dude.
But they call it something like it
Right.
was like the fucking, either way.
We were talking about that shit a lot. What's that called? But remember, there was
That's
like
what
a.
I'm trying to-
You can't remember? Shit. Yeah, I remember talking about that. Remember, there's the leader guy of like, and they were like anarchists,
Right,
Yeah,
basically.
but they were like,
I know
fuck,
they started
what's
their
it
own
called
community,
though?
or, like,
Yeah.
their own like.
I forget.
Damn. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, they were called something. But either way, yeah,
Sure,
same
screw
thing. That it almost doesn't matter because I was just gonna use it for the joke. Like, oh, we gotta
Yeah,
go to the
yeah.
next fucking like whatever it's called. But
Right.
they were like, what do you call that when you're like sovereign citizen? So it was like a sovereign nation or something or like whatever. Not that that's the word.
They
but
like split.
They are some type of something like that. Like it's a sovereign thing too. Like they're like, we don't identify as American or whatever. Like we're our own like country or whatever.
Right. They're like
But it's
independent.
called something. It's like,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't matter. One thing I will say though is I
can't
put
think
the
of it.
link in the chat. I pinned it. You can click on it and vote for me.
That's right. Do
Yeah.
it. Do
Yeah.
it. Do it.
And if you're up late enough, you could do it right now, and then you could do it at midnight as well.
Oh yeah. Sorry,
once
I'm
a day.
just Fucking.
I
Once
tried
a day.
doing it earlier, but I can't remember my fucking.
Yeah, it happened to a lot
Facebook.
of people. Like, oh, I can't remember. I'm like, fuck.
I use my face to just log in, but like,
Oh, yeah, mine. Whenever I first did it, mine popped up and was just like, "Do you want to log in as this?" I'm like, "Yeah," and just clicked it and then logged right in. And every time after that, I had to fucking keep typing it in.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it came up the first time and was like, "Oh, like this name." I'm like, "Yeah, that one."
Yeah, I tried to search for it earlier.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be super wicked dope.
So you guys see the top 5 got arrested today?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
I also saw he was hanging out with Cuban Doll and the other guy,
Bobby Shmurda.
Bobby
You were
Shmurda.
saying,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I don't know too much
He
details.
was on
that,
the
but-
run too. I forgot about
Yeah.
that because I said it. I was like, "Yo, I'm like fucking dude got arrested, whatever." It said like Toronto rapper, this and that, and showed a picture of him, but it didn't. I don't really remember what he looked like. It wasn't that. And yeah, and then I was like, "Yo, fucking Dugu got arrested," and Bully's like, "Oh, he's like they got him," and I was like, "Oh, yeah, that's right. He was on the run."
Yeah, he was on the run, but
Yeah.
he kept popping up.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
he get active on Instagram again and all that.
It's fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was like, pretty sure he either did release a song or he was gonna release a song or something like that.
Yeah.
While he was on the run. It's like the TK shit. There was
Right.
another dude, so like TK was on the run from the cops,
I
and he
feel like,
put
did this happen a long time ago?
no, this just
With
happened.
top 5. He was
But
just
no,
arrested,
but that's
but
well. So that's what I was
Yeah.
gonna actually get into. Is so like TK was a guy on the run from like Florida or some shit. Like he's
Oh,
in the
okay.
States,
Right.
but TK-47. But while he was on the run, he was making fucking music and shit. Like he had a song called the Race, I think it was called, or something like that. And they think he was like teasing the cops or whatever.
oh yeah, the race,
But
the rat race.
then the weird thing is like maybe I predicted the future, but I think it's a different rapper altogether. But there was a video I saw from Trap Lord Ross or one of those guys. There's another guy, Trap Geek. It was one of those guys. They made a video of a rapper from Toronto, and they called him the TK of the North. And he basically did like the same type of shit. He was on the run and fucking like putting out music and like doing all
Okay.
this shit. But I don't think it was top 5. And this was like a while ago too. But
Right.
but yeah, no. So that's what I was gonna say. Is like it's almost like TK. And there was a rapper from Toronto, the TK of the
I
North.
feel
or
like we
whatever.
talked about the same story. Like the
Yeah,
same thing
yeah.
Before, like a long time ago.
So now I guess what I'm saying is it's now fucking top 5 is like the fucking the TK of the North or whatever.
Okay,
He's like the
yeah.
next fucking TK or whatever.
He's made a lot of noise, that's for sure. It just seems like no Toronto. Well, I don't know. It seems like the most famous people to come out of Toronto are people like that. You know what I mean? No. Well, I
Well,
mean, there's Drake.
No,
and
for sure. But I
like,
just
you know what
mean, I know what you
Like,
mean. Like even too, it's like
people that have
I
been like
find
popping out of Toronto, like
the Toronto page is all they cover is fucking like they cover a lot of like different artists, but I find they're covering all the artists that are like shooting people or like
Yeah,
fucking getting
yeah.
shot or
the
like
dramatic shit.
all the
like-
fucking crazy shit. And, like I get it, it's like news and shit, but I'm like, all I see from Toronto is like everyone's shooting or
Yeah.
getting shot or like you know what I mean. And I'm just like, that's like not really cool. Like
Yeah.
you know, it's like I saw a thing the other day said Toronto is like the second safest city in
yeah. to
wherever.
travel
I don't know
to.
if it was like the world or
in-
if it was North America.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was like, the fuck, are you kidding me?
You
Like,
never
all I
think
hear
that.
is they're fucking shooting each
Yeah,
other.
for sure. Especially with like I don't know, Chromaz as well. Like she's coming and going on Instagram, but she's like,
It's fucking stupid.
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And it's like that's what's popping in Toronto. Like she's super popular.
Excuse me.
But at the same time, I know there's like, you know, there's some artists there trying to do the thing. Like Adrian's from Toronto too, yeah?
Yeah. Bill or something like that.
Yeah, okay.
Speaking of Vills, Belleville just got a
Belleville.
skate park, basketball park or something.
Oh yeah?
Skateboard and basketball park.
Yeah,
Do
like,
both at the same time.
Yeah, man. There's like fucking. It's like a little transition from like one little like bowl to another or whatever, and there's a basketball net up there, and there's like I guess there's just like basketball nets around and shit, like on the skate park, like,
yeah,
you can,
right. Like
skate.
you wouldn't play at those basketball.
No, yeah,
nets
like I
without
said, like one of
skateboard,
them's like
right?
literally like you can't even stand in front of it and shoot really. Like there might be a little spot, but you're like right in front of
Man.
it, but it's all like
Yeah.
for skateboarding and doing shit. Like
That's weird.
Watch
Never
that be.
thought that would be a
Watch that be in the Olympics when our kids are like, I watched that shit evolve over the. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we would with other things right now, and they're like, I
No.
can't believe that made it to the Olympics. Like
I was
us
watching-
with skateboarding right now.
basketball.
Yeah,
I was watching
yeah.
baseball the other day, and my brother's buddy or whatever made a joke about Ubering the ball.
Ubering the ball.
Like, oh yeah, you got to fucking Uber. I think we were talking about like kids playing baseball or something or whatever,
yeah.
and being like, oh yeah, you got to like fucking run halfway across the field to throw it or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
And then we're like, oh, you got to like Uber the ball, and I was like, oh yeah, you got to like Uber to first and shit.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yo, you know what? We can make some kind of like baseball game that's like played like in the whole
in a
city.
city.
Yeah, and it's like there'd be like, you know,
That
on,
would be pretty
on
cool.
like
yeah.
on Battleship, how there's like you pick different places and then you like hit or miss or whatever,
yeah.
right? So there'd be like a whole bunch of places on the map, and then you like maybe like roll a dice or like, you know, it's like randomly selected to this place, right? Like, okay, you hit the ball there or whatever, right? It's like, oh, foul ball or whatever, right? Or it's like no one's there, and it's like, okay, cool, you got to get in your car and Uber to fucking first base.
Yeah, right.
But like then the closest person to that place that you hit the ball to has to like Uber there.
I
And
feel this
then-
would
And,
be
like,
get expensive.
beat
Like,
you,
Oh, for
could you
sure.
just
Oh,
drive
yeah.
your own car?
But
Do you have to Uber?
if they're there before you are, you're out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The idea, yeah.
And then, like,
that'd be pretty cool.
but like you would call and shit too, so you could like throw the ball. You would like call over, right?
Yeah,
and shit
yeah.
like that, and like whatever. I like fucking thought it all out in my
that
head. I
actually
had all
kind
these
of works
ideas.
in a way, though. Like,
Well, yeah, even
Make
too.
it
Somebody's like, well,
Yeah.
like, what are you gonna pay for everybody's Ubers that are playing and shit? I'm like, no, they have to pay for them.
yeah,
It's that fucking. So you have a team and they have a team, and then in the end, the prize is worth enough that you fucking.
yeah,
It's like you got to do the thing, right?
yeah.
Or yeah, like you can have your own cars, but I think it'd be
And
better if you had to wait for the Uber because it's like all part of the.
yeah.
That's part of the thing.
And
right?
you can make like you could be like, all right, we're not gonna play like East fucking Ottawa, and you know what I mean?
No, well, you'd
West,
have it
like,
mapped out as a baseball field
it'd
or
be like,
something, right? Like you'd
yeah,
have it
it'd
all
be like yeah,
figured out.
same
but-
area. Or
But yeah, I was
whatever.
like, oh, it's a fucking good idea. Just like,
That is pretty interesting.
like
Yeah.
Uber over and shit.
It could be a drone. You could get a drone involved
Man,
as the.
you just reminded me that. So I pull up to an intersection the other day, right? And I noticed like there's this fucking tiny ass drone floating over the intersection, and they like I noticed it, right? They must have noticed that I noticed because they really started to fuck with me. They like got really close to my truck, floating right by my window and shit, and I'm just like looking at it and shit, you know. And man, I can't believe like it's so not legal, but like I thought I saw the car like down the road. I was like, man, where the fuck? You know, no one's standing around here. And then I kept looking. There's a car like parked down the far road. I'm like, must be them, but
They have a pretty good range.
wild, man. They were really fucking with me, like floating right in my way and shit. And then I like gassed it right when it went green, and they knew they. But
That's
yeah,
pretty funny
fuck.
too. They're
Oh
just
yeah,
fucking with people.
I'm just thinking like, oh man, it's 2021. You know, like,
Yeah.
crazy.
They have kids in their drones.
Yeah.
Fucking Danny Duncan took a drone from a kid.
Oh,
like
yeah?
flying around his property and shit. And like he's got a buddy that's like a big guy, and he just was like, "We'll find them." So fucking it just cuts to the next scene, and buddy rolls up and he's got the controller and like the phone and stuff and everything, and he's like, "Here you go," and he gives it to him. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, well, actually he was like, "Thanks," but it was Steve will do it was with him. He's like, "What the fuck?" He's like, "Man," he's like, "You're the best." Like, that's awesome,
Yeah.
man. So they're fucking, then they have the drone, and he's like, "Here, land it on me," or whatever, right? So he like gets the drone and shit, and he fucking throws it in the mud and pulls out an AK. He's like, shoots the drone. And then he fucking calls the kid on the phone or whatever. So he's talking to some kid on the phone. He's like, "Yo," he's like, "What the fuck's going on?" He's like, "Why are you driving or flying drones over my house?" And he's like, "No, it wasn't me. It was," thanks, yeah. It was my friend. He's like, "Tell your friend he's a fucking idiot. He's not getting his drone back, all this shit, whatever."
Yeah.
And I don't know how you can do that though, like just take someone's drone, unless he was actually like on his property maybe or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. But he takes it. Fucking, I think he ended up fucking shooting the phone too. But so he tells the kid, he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, fucking," he's like, "I'm keeping all your shit. Like, fuck you, you're an idiot, whatever." And he's like, "Tell your friend." He's like, "I'm gonna fucking go to his house and I'm gonna fuck his stepmom and I'm gonna film it with the drone." But yeah, no, it's funny though. He fucking basically takes this kid's drone. Like I said, I don't know. Maybe they just did it for like a funny video, you know,
Yeah,
like
right.
smash my old drone or whatever. But it seemed like, or he made it seem like, anyways, that
It was real.
this guy just stole this fucking
Right.
phone and drone and everything from these kids. Like I was like, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh man. Yeah, I was definitely like, I was just like, I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? I'm like, they're probably looking for someone to be like, "Oh, fuck this drone," or like, you know what I mean? Some old guy to be like, rah, rah. I was like, that's actually kind of cool. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? He's just like fucking with me, floating right in front of my truck and shit.
Like you were stopped at a light.
I had a light, yeah, and then
Probably,
whenever,
like fucking with like whoever stopped at that.
Oh,
light,
yeah,
they're just like
exact-
waiting there
yeah,
for someone to stop,
yeah.
just trying to get reactions. And
yeah,
shit.
and then when it went green, I was like, rum, 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 you know, like I took off a little bit, but they fucking just gone.
And they have crazy range though. Like my buddy
Yeah.
out west had one. We were flying around. It was like late at night too, so it was all dark and shit. But it has like, it doesn't just have like, I thought they would have like, you know, a couple little lights or whatever on them, but they have like, it's fucking bright, like crazy
Yeah.
lights and shit. And he flew it, man, like probably 3-4 blocks away. And like, so where we were kind of on a hill, but it's all like houses and shit. So there's no real tall buildings, but down a little ways you can see, because you're looking down the hill and you can see this one big building. Fucking flew it all the way over and fucking just like kind of around the building and shit, and flew it back, like to the point where whenever he flew back, like he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna come back." And we just like waited there
Yeah,
for like
yeah.
a few minutes. Like it was just like, I'm like, I see it, but it's not, it doesn't look like it's moving. He's like, "Oh, it's coming," you know. Yeah, they're fucking cool.
Fuck, they're tricky. Like, well, at least the one I tried to fly I did for the minutes or a few minutes that I tried to fly one. Like, it was yeah, it was. I think it was a cheaper one. Like, but yeah, fucking just sitting on the back deck and like you get it up off the ground like a few feet, and then as soon as you, like, it was super sensitive too. So like as soon as you like, you know, flicked your thumb or whatever, it would just be like whew,
Yeah.
take off.
Yeah,
Maybe it
my
was just
brother
me.
has a couple. Fucking, there's cheap ones too, but flying them around and shit. But it's hard too, cause like fucking the remote control cars and shit like that, or remote control anything, they have like trim on them, and like you have to fix that, or like it won't, like, it's, have you ever had a fucking remote control car where you're driving and it's like always turning or something?
Mm.
If you like fix the trim, it like zeroes it out, right? So then it makes it like straight or whatever, right? So like sometimes like your drone or whatever will be sitting there and it'll kind of like
Drift.
go to one side or whatever, but it's because of that. If you can change the trim,
Mm.
then like it'll all just be like straight, and then you like move it.
Yeah.
But
See, that's what I was like not getting the hang of, like, because it was like it would just sit on the ground, and it's not like you could just turn it on and it would like hover for you, and then you just fly it through this.
oh no, that's
This
what my
guy.
brother's does. You hit a button and it goes zzzz, and just lifts
this one
up.
Did not do
and
that.
then
Like
you,
it
like,
was just
fly
like
it.
on the ground, and you had to like control the things to like start. Like if you push forward on like one of the thumbsticks, there's like a left and a right.
Yeah, yeah.
So if you push forward on one of them, it would like turn the propellers on, which would like lift it up straight, and then the other one would like control where it
Yeah,
went,
yeah.
you know.
Same thing, but this one would like, yeah, you just hit a button. Like, so it kind of like, you turn it on, it would kind of like spin, but then you hit the button and it'd be like, and
Yeah,
it just
that'd be
sits
way,
there.
that'd be way
And then you're
easier
like,
to just control it. Yeah, this one it was like super sensitive, so like as soon as you like if you pushed up all the way, like it was gone, and like if it gets, and it was pretty light too, so like any major wind and it is actually
oh,
like,
true, yeah.
drifting that way. So we were just in a little backyard. The highway was right behind us too, so like if like it fell on the highway, it was
Yeah.
gone. Someone's getting in a fucking accident for sure. But yeah, wasn't
That's
one of the, I guess, more expensive ones that have that feature.
fuck. My buddy has one. He will put it up, and then he just like sets it on his boat. Like you can like set it on objects,
And it follows it.
and then so he can have it so it's like in front of him looking down, but it'd be like way the fuck up, right? Like he's just like a speck. It'd be in front of him but looking down. And then like he'll fucking drive the boat, or it'll be behind him looking down, or it'll be like it circles around you looking at you
Yeah.
and whatever, and like shit like that. But you just like set it and then like drive around
that's
and
pretty
shit.
cool. You can get some cool like footage and shots and
Yeah.
like, shit like that for sure.
But yeah, I want one. They actually, man, they say that the flying cars are actually going to be more like drones.
Yeah, that would
You're gonna have like fucking 8 propellers or whatever on them. So it'd be like one, like you know how they're all on the top like that. So it'd be like 4 like that, and then there'd be like 2 underneath as well.
Mm.
And then fucking it showed them. I saw the fucking one actually like flying and shit, but it was just like a one man little like fucking thing.
Yeah. As soon as you get a lot of weight to it, you need a lot of force to start like
Yeah,
lifting
oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
driving that shit, right? So you gotta be lightweight.
Yeah, I saw a guy fucking slice his finger and shit with one. Like fucking, I guess it was pretty bad. They didn't really like show it that much, but it like they showed the video and you could hear the thing like beeping and shit, like it was like dying. And I guess it was, you could see it like coming to them, and they're like, oh yeah, there it is, yeah, whatever, yeah. And it's like coming over to them, then all of a sudden it just goes whoop whoop whoop, and it flips all around and shit, and it just goes into the water. Then they run down and they see where it splashed in, so they go into the water and they're like feeling around with their feet because it's like pretty deep, feeling around with their feet. And the one dude's like, oh cool, I found it. And they bring it out and they like dry it off and shit and throw it on the ground. And one dude's like beep 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 trying to control it, and so it like goes to take off, but it's kind of like all fucked up. It wasn't like sitting flat. And buddy goes to grab it and flip it over or whatever, and he's like, oh fuck, and he fucking runs away. He's like shit. He's like, man, he's like, I just sliced my finger, and he's running around freaking out and shit. So I'm like, oh, it must have been like pretty fucking bad. It's like these YouTubers I watch. Oh, it must have been pretty bad. Fuck, I got hit in the head with my buddy's
I
fucking.
just had ketchup packets.
He was flying it over. Oh, I didn't even see they didn't even show anything. That's what I mean. Is like,
because he had ketchup packets.
Yeah.
but no, but I didn't see like blood or anything. Like I didn't even see anything. Like he just ran away. Like it was just the way he was acting told me it was fucking
Right.
bad.
What was this real quick?
Buddy got cut with a blade of a drone.
Oh, okay.
But my buddy out west, whenever he brought it back from the fucking little tour, it was like above me. And so I was standing in the middle of the street with my arms out like this, and like the lights all above me and shit like that. I'm like, take a picture. So they're like taking pictures and shit, and he's like trying to get it like closer to me and stuff, and like you feel the wind and shit off of it. And then all of a sudden it fucking, I guess it maybe died or like I don't know, whatever, but all of a sudden it just like fell and fucking drilled me in the head.
Oh, no
but
way.
I felt it like across my head, and I was like, oh fuck. And I was like, man, right away. I'm like, am I bleeding? Like, oh fuck. Because it felt like one of those like, you know, you cut yourself so fucking clean that it's like, oh, like it doesn't hurt. And then you're like, oh, and it's just like, you know, it was like that. It didn't end up bleeding, but I thought it was like that. So like, am I bleeding?
Most of them have like little guards on it, right? Little bumper guards.
Yeah,
for
but you never put those on.
Oh, I thought the one that I was using was just like built in, like.
Oh yeah.
Right.
It just had little plastic like things like surrounding the propellers.
With the like DJI ones and shit, I think they come with them, but you can like take them off and stuff.
I see.
Right.
But they also have a thing. The DJI ones have a thing that they like. You set it and they won't run into stuff. So like you could just like fly it straight at the building, and it was like
it'll stop itself.
Yeah.
It's like a Roomba.
Yeah. Same technology.
Yeah.
Man, I remember when I was in like grade 5 or 6 doing this little robot. Like we put together these robots and program them, but it was like that fucking Roombot thing. Like you'd program them, like if it went near an object, like it would a wall, it like sense it back up and turn away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you guys ever do that in your?
That sounds familiar, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least like the coding part of it.
Yeah, because I was really young in Queenie. Like, you would have been fucking... Oh, you only came in high school, eh?
Yeah.
You would have been in UK. You would have been here though, but you would have been a bit older.
Yeah,
I
no, I
guess.
never did anything like that.
Nothing
Played the
like that,
recorder
eh?
and stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, but it's almost like exactly what you're saying with the drone. You know what I mean? Like, I remember experimenting with that tech
Yeah.
back like way back. You
Could've-
know,
you
like
could've invented
like
the
grade
Roomba, man.
5 or 6. Yeah. Grade 5, 6 as A invented the Roomba.
Never know.
Never know. Well, I mean, like, that was the gist of it. It was like you put it together and then you programmed it to, like, I can't even remember how we, like, programmed it, but, like, it would sense a wall there and stuff and then, like, stop,
Like when
back
it ran
up.
into it?
Just before, you know, sometimes it would run into it or whatever. Not as precise as a Roomba. Those things are ridiculous. Have you seen one go?
Not like not. I guess they
Man, they'll
when they
go.
first came out. Like
Oh,
those
man,
were
my
joke-
They'll
buddy-
go right over your
dining.
dining, like some dining room chairs have like the metal bars that are like squared, right? Not just straight down, but they're like, yeah, man. They'll run into one and they'll fucking back up and right over it, like take a running shot at it and go over it. It's pretty crazy, and they remember. Like they'll actually do your whole house before repeating your house. You know what I mean? Like it'll even get full, go back to its home, empty out, and start
Keep
where
where
it
it
left.
left
Yeah,
off,
man. That's like what shocks
Well,
me the most.
AI,
I don't know,
man.
I don't know if they're all
gonna
like
take over
this
the
or
world.
not,
Mhm.
but my buddy has one that it I think it has to go around once or something, or you do something, but either way you have to like program your floor into it.
Oh,
So like I
okay.
said, maybe it goes around and bumps around the 1st time and figures it out itself,
And then
That would
figures
make
out-
sense.
or you do something like walk around with a thing or whatever, but there's like a fucking like a tower for it and shit.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't know if they're all like this. Maybe it's a new one or it's the special version or whatever. But he says, yeah, he's like, now it doesn't bump into shit. It just goes around and it knows where everything is.
Right.
Like
Like
it's figured
scans as it
itself out.
goes,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I was like, that's fucked up because like I just figured they were always just bumping into shit and it was just a
Right.
sensor that goes boom, go the other way,
Turn
or do
around,
this,
yeah.
go boom, 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 like whatever.
Right.
But then, like, once he was showing me his, I'm like, yeah, it almost seems too simple to just be like, boom, boom,
Yeah,
boom, right?
yeah.
Like, and at the same time, too, it's like, you buy it and it bangs itself around every time you use it, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm like, maybe, I don't, like I said, I don't know if they're all like that or not, but I
Right.
know he's got one like that. I was like, that's pretty cool.
I know you can buy like more expensive ones.
Yeah, that's what I
so,
mean. Like, it's
yeah.
like the Roomba Plus or
Yeah.
something, or if it's like the
Yeah.
2021 Roomba, or like,
Right.
you know, like, what is
Man,
it?
I don't know what it is, but
I think the
I
tower-
want to buy a Roomba now.
I think,
Oh,
I,
dude, yeah.
I think it's the tower. I think the tower reads the room or
Yeah.
something, or like whatever. Either way,
Yeah.
it's fucking science.
I'm
as
gonna
fuck.
I'm gonna get one.
Computer, yeah.
I'm gonna buy a brand new one.
Do it, bro. Yeah.
I'm doing it.
It's
Let's
good
see.
for like,
Decision made. We'll come
When
back
you-
with was it worth it?
yeah. It's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
for when you have a kid and animals and you work all the time.
Yeah.
Because it'll just go out during the day.
Where does
you
it all
got-
go though?
It goes into the tower and then you got to empty the
Into
tower.
the tower.
You
It's
mean
got, like, a little,
like
like,
the dirt,
receptacle
the
thing.
dirt that
And how holds it in
sucks
it?
up?
Yeah.
Yeah, and once it senses that it's full, it goes back to tower, empties out, and goes back.
And then you
yeah.
just empty that.
the one that
Yeah,
I
yeah,
saw
yeah.
go, and from my understanding, the one I saw was like
Like a good one.
paid the most money to get like what you're seeing, you know.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I
okay.
literally, man, sat there and had a couple of drinks and watched that.
Yeah, yeah.
I
It's like
just-
entertainment.
Yeah, I just got to the house
is it
and,
gonna go
and it
next?
was out and about, and I was like, yeah, like this is pretty cool. And then we're all just standing there, and I kept watching it. and-
My one buddy says he bullies his.
yeah,
I've never seen him do it. I didn't even know he had
go
one.
over the
But
chair.
he's like, man, he's sometimes it's just going around and shit. And he's like, I just go over in front of him. Like,
Yeah.
think you're going this way? No,
Yeah.
don't bump into me. And
It's
like
like
go
a
the
cat.
other way. He's like, fuck you, man.
I do
like,
the
yeah,
same
yeah.
thing if I had one. Totally.
Yeah, like picking on
yeah.
it and shit. I was like, that's hilarious.
If I was off on a day, like, and then I was doing my own thing, came through the house, right? Let's just say to like get a glass of water or whatever, and it's like, oh, I'd definitely be like, oh, my arch nemesis, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like,
Fucking missed the
oh,
spot.
Yeah, yeah,
You
totally,
again.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. Fucking robot.
That's hilarious.
But you know what?
Try it.
You know what other thought I get from seeing something that looks so simple now is like what tech is out there that we don't know about, you know what I mean? Like that seems so mind-blowing to us.
Yeah, there's probably
But
like,
that's probably like
lot.
nothing. And that's why I bring up like, man, I saw that shit when I was in like grade 5, 6, not perfected to like be a vacuum, but you know what I mean? Imagine what they've come up since then in that time.
man, there's always that thing that like they say that the military is like
Light
5
years.
to 10 years ahead. of
That's what I was gonna
whatever,
say. That's what I was
you
just
know,
gonna say. Yeah.
the rest of us. So
Like,
if we were
well-
using it in like regular commercial use, like
They've already
they've
been there,
long
done
since
that.
had it, and
Even
like,
like
sure.
someone told me too, like shit that you see in like movies and
and
stuff
shit.
like
Yeah,
that.
man, for
is
sure.
stuff that they already have.
Yeah,
Right.
And like
yeah.
I even remember fucking.
You ever seen the Minority Report where he's like
Oh.
Satellite
using the
phones and
fucking
shit?
like glass TVs or like the
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 ball,
glass screens, like
Yeah.
the see-through glass screens and like
Oh,
shit
yeah,
like that,
yeah,
yeah.
swiping and all that sort of shit.
the cars are all like floating and hovering and shit.
Yeah, yeah.
And oh, that movie's good.
Well, yeah, it's funny that you brought because that's what I was thinking too. I was like, oh, my fucking the military's always like way ahead. So the
Yeah.
shit we have is like, man, what the fuck did they have?
Yeah,
man? Like, what are they
exactly.
doing? Because even too, you think about it, it's like, think of like all the like GPS shit and all the like fucking
Mm-hmm.
all the stuff we have access to right now. They had that like before, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, so imagine, so yeah, so now imagine like even like how more precise theirs is and shit,
Yeah.
and like how like.
Man, like,
It's actually funny you bring that up since
I
we're
don't know.
on all that topic. When I think of all that shit, I actually just watched this documentary on Netflix about 9/11 though.
right. I saw
It's
that.
like
I think
it's like you can just question that day with everything, you know what I mean? Like especially the second plane. Like okay, like we'll give you the first plane, but like what he was just saying, GPS or like radar, you know what I mean? Like they knew it was fucking coming in, you know what I mean? And like nothing was, well, like you're not just gonna shoot down a commercial airline over New York City, but like
Well, that's the whole thing, though, right? They were saying that on the same day, at the same time, the military was running these like war games, like exercises,
right,
for the exact same scenario,
right.
right? So like the
Yeah, that makes sense. Cause did you watch the documentary on Netflix?
yeah, but that's something
Yeah?
like I've like
Because there was like audio of like real people
Yeah, like
calling
dispatch,
in, and
yeah,
they're like,
and
"Is
is
this
this real,
Is this real or
or
is this?"
exercise?
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
and that's
that
because
makes
like
sense because
on
they
the
would have
same
been
day
confused as fuck.
exactly, they didn't know if what the call was real
Yeah.
or if there's like it was actually going on.
Could you?
The
imagine?
exact same thing actually happened on 7/7 in the London bombings.
right.
The exact same
Yeah,
thing. These
eh?
were like underground, like the train bombings or
Mhm.
whatever.
Yeah.
Exact same thing there.
That happened in '92, didn't it, or
No,
'91?
this was after 9/11.
Oh, it was after
Yeah,
9/11.
yeah,
Okay.
It was like in 2007, I think. And yeah, they were running the exact same like scenario exercises of
An emergency,
a
like-
bombing situation
right.
or like something like that, like
Yeah.
an emergency situation. And sure enough, the exact
Turned real.
same thing
Crazy, eh?
happened. Yeah, so it's like you say, you can just question so much about
Yeah.
it, so much
Yeah.
about it. No one will ever know. It's like the same with like the JFK assassination. It's the same
Oh
thing.
yeah.
Like as soon as you start watching videos and like
Mm-hmm.
the Zapruder video and all these other ones,
It's like anyone in the right mind knows that there's a way bigger story behind it. It's not as fucking like, oh my god, you know what I mean? Someone shot him. That's it. You know what I mean? Like there's way more.
You talking about bringing him home from fucking Osama? Bringing Osama home?
no, that's another one. though.
That's another one, yeah,
like,
yeah.
they just
We're
sort of
just
threw him in the
talking-
ocean, right?
Yeah, we're just
Well, no,
talking
just
about
c-
examples of things exactly like that.
Well, who are you talking about though?
JFK.
Okay. But no, just because you're like there must be more, and then you're like they just shot him. Yeah, apparently they like shot Osama bin Laden and like shot him off the.
Well, they buried him at sea apparently because no country wanted to.
Well, yeah, but apparently he was alive when they had him, and they shot him and threw him over the fucking thing. Did they not?
Well,
Oh,
it
I don't know. They
depends.
said the official story of like that they
The-
captured
Because
or
the Nelk
killed
boys
him.
hung out with the dude that killed
I was
him.
gonna say, but he talks about shooting the guy in the head.
Okay,
Like,
so here's
yeah.
the thing: so then that I guess kind of helps my thing.
Yeah.
I guess not helps my thing, proves my thing wrong. But
Right.
I thought, okay, I thought they caught him, right?
Right.
And they were bringing him home, and then they shot him on the thing and threw him over the overboard.
Right.
So I was like, oh,
I
how
mean, that could've been
convenient.
what happened.
I'm like, how convenient. You know, like, oh, you throw him overboard. Like, oh, we got him. But no, don't worry. We took care of it. You guys just didn't see it, right?
Mhm.
Not that I want them to show me. But do you guys remember Saddam Hussein?
Yeah.
Mhm.
They brought him to the States and they hung him publicly.
Right.
In the
And
States?
yeah,
What?
yeah,
Is
man.
that
It was
how
on
they did
TV,
that?
dude.
Really, eh?
That I didn't know they brought him to the States to do that though.
It was on TV, I think.
Yeah, look it up.
But
They did a movie even on Osama bin Laden, right? Zero Dark 30.
but
Did you guys
Could-
see that?
Maybe, yeah, that rings a bell, that name, but I don't know if
Well,
It's
shit, it was on
about
December
that mission.
what's that?
it was on December 30th.
That's my
For
birthday.
who? Hussein? Or yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they fucking did it right on TV.
I remember seeing footage of it, but I didn't know it was like broadcast as like an event in the US.
Right.
Like,
Well, because I remember being like,
pay-per-view.
what the fuck, man? I'm like, how is this like
Allowed.
okay? Like, why is
Yeah.
everyone like, okay, that's cool? Like, not that I don't think you should do that, because like, whatever, he's bad, or I'm led to believe he's
But
bad.
on national
But it's
television.
like, well, not even that. I just mean like the fucking in the sense of like just the fact that everyone is okay with it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Even to have it just publicly, where like, hey man, we're having fucking 30,000 people show up to this thing or whatever, right? It's
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, man, like
that's what you call
it's one
power.
thing to it's one thing to be like 10 people went into this room and they executed this
Yeah.
guy. You know,
Yeah.
it's over. You know, like okay,
Yeah.
but now to be like, you know what I'm saying? I lost my train of thought.
It's almost like, you know what I mean? Problem, reaction, solution. Here's the bad guys. Oh,
which you generally put in there in the first place.
exactly,
Yeah.
right?
Like,
Oh,
What's that thing where you make the problem or you
Yeah,
create the
that's what-
problem?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, we got the leader. Like what you're saying, you know what I mean? Oh, we got the leader. There's the fucking solution. And
Yeah.
and it's okay because we've now got a whole nation, maybe even more, behind us, right? Because of the
See, I think, like,
problem that we've expressed in the beginning, you know what I mean, has now allowed us to do what we just did. Kill this guy on live television or whatever it is, like whatever, you know what I mean?
No, I'm trying to find it, but so but the thing is, so like where now, like I said, so this doesn't even matter because if Osama bin Laden was already dead, then this doesn't even matter.
Well, that's
But-
the rumor,
but-
right? That he was dead way
Yeah,
long
yeah.
ago, right?
But so
Right.
now Zach's telling us to look at the chat. I read it. I don't know what it means.
Down here, yeah,
I
let's
know
see.
he's calling me, so I don't know. But my point is I'm trying
Oh.
to say something, I guess is what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
But the fucking is honestly, I don't know if it's anything important. But lost my train of thought though. The thing with the stuff. Oh yeah. So, but either way, like I said, it doesn't matter because I'm just telling you how I thought it was, and I always said this to people. I'm like, man, think about it. I'm like, they didn't fucking kill him. I'm like, they never even fucking had him in the first place, or if they did, they let him go or whatever, right? They didn't throw him overboard. They put him onto another ship and he went somewhere else. Because I said, if you're gonna go and get Saddam Hussein and fucking publicly hang him or whatever the fuck, then take Osama bin Laden and be like,
would
yeah,
wanna
we're bringing
do
him
the
home.
same,
And be like,
yeah.
oh yeah, don't worry, he's gone, you know, like
Yeah.
okay, he's gone, right? So I was like, why would you do one and not the other? So now that you say that, okay, then I just misunderstood. But I even bring that up to people, man, what the fuck, this and that. And no one ever fucking corrected me to be like, but I assume even
Well,
whenever,
that-
but even
that's-
whenever
again,
they,
that's what they said though, right? Like,
But even in the
so I
news-
agree with you that they didn't. I don't think they did have the body. I think.
no, yeah, but I just mean that I thought that like even whenever the news came out that they're like, oh, they're bringing him home and stuff, right? I was like, yeah, like he's still alive. They're gonna hang him, right? And then they were like, oh yeah, they fucking buried him at sea, right? So my point is, when that happened, I was under the impression that it was like, oh, we were bringing him home live and well, and then we just decided, fuck it, let's just throw him out here, you know? And I was like, why would you do that to one and not the other? But I know what you mean. It's like, yeah, even I believe he wasn't there. He's fucking friends with the Bushes or whatever, right?
Mhm.
But I just mean like that's where my question was. It was like, why would you do that when like everyone wanted to see Saddam Hussein fucking hung? So why would you do that with this guy? But that just makes
the most
my
hated
thought
person in the world
completely
at that
wrong.
point.
But even too, like whenever I left, you guys were talking about the 9/11 thing, and I think like somebody proved the like the fucking like the jet fuel melted the fucking steel or whatever, or like I don't know. Either way, whatever it is, there's this guy. He's like a fucking blacksmith, and he says all this shit, and he's like, okay, everyone's saying all this, right? And he basically proves it wrong. Like he says, like I think he even gives a bit of a disclaimer to say, hey, I'm not saying that I don't think it was planned, but at the same time, some of the stuff that you're saying as proof is wrong.
Right.
And he says, oh, this is supposed to melt at this temperature, like it's whatever. And then he takes the fucking steel and he puts it in the kiln or whatever it is, the hot shit, and he pulls it out and fucking bends it or whatever. And he's like, see, this is fucking, he does all the math and shit and whatever and all the science. But my point is he proves it wrong. So what I'm saying is that I'm sure like a lot of stuff that people are saying about it might not even be true or feasible or like real or like whatever. But at the same time, there's so much other stuff that's like, okay, regardless of the steel heating up at this temperature, why were fucking 12 of these 14 jets that are made for this scenario, why were they on like practice that day somewhere else? You know what I mean? So like my point is I'm just saying there's some stuff like that where it's like, okay, that's like you can't really answer that question. And then there's stuff where it's like, okay, the metal thing, right?
The plane that hit the Pentagon, right? That's like the lesser talked about thing that happened at the same time.
Yeah.
So like if you look exactly, there's no like evidence of like a giant fucking plane crashing into that building whatsoever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like this just doesn't exist.
Oh, and even too, the one in the field, there's one that crashed into a field too.
Yeah.
And they're saying that
There's
like,
also no plane there either, really.
there was like
A scar in the ground.
Yeah, but there
I think
was,
someone
like,
went
there
to-
was
someone went to like
stuff
Google
there?
Earth like years and years and years ago on that same spot, and that scar is like still there.
oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So it's
Shit.
like whatever was there is like a geological feature.
I
that-
think
Oh,
that there
yeah.
was like some stuff there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was like some remnants of a plane, but there wasn't big pieces to show that like a plane actually crashed here. So they're thinking like, how did it
Man,
disintegrate?
you can go
But-
back like on.
Well, the other
online
thing
and
is
just
there
look
wasn't-
at other.
there wasn't
other-
people. There wasn't people there.
There's nothing. Like there's like you can. Like I was about to say, like you could go online and look for footage, like real footage of like actual planes crashing and like the remains of what's left over.
On that
and,
day, yeah.
And yeah, man, like there's planes have like crashed throughout history like that.
Right,
It
of
happens,
course, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
right? And even like passenger planes that go down in a city or on the runway or
Right.
whatever. Yeah, like there's a whole fucking plane left over. Like
Right.
it's there. Like it's
Yeah.
like fucking in pieces or whatever, unless it's like in the ocean, you know. But,
Right.
yeah, like it's evident that there was a fucking plane there.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Because that's just not there on those two sites.
Yeah,
So
and
that
that's
was
Which is
kind of
just
weird.
like,
So it's one of those other things that you're saying. There's like endless questions that you're like,
Yeah.
well, this doesn't make sense and this doesn't
yeah.
fucking make sense.
Well, and that's what like I was saying is, you know, like there's some stuff that people will prove wrong. Like I said, I use that one example because some guy actually proved it wrong with the steel and the.
yeah, so okay,
heat
so it's
and
like you give
whatever.
them that. It's like okay, so
Okay, that's
steel-
cool, but like, what about all these other things?
Yeah,
that are
like-
questionable?
Oh,
So
yeah.
like if the top, what is it, like 20 stories or whatever, it got hit on like the 80th floor of the buildings,
Yeah.
or like 110
Both were hot,
stories.
yeah.
Like those top stories are gonna make the other 80 stories below them,
Yeah,
or you know what I mean, like
Hmm.
crumble to absolute dust.
They crumbled like a planned explosion for
Yeah,
sure.
just
oh, dude, yeah, that's the
it's like,
thing, right?
Like, you don't
like,
see-
okay, I'll give you that. Okay, the planes can hit a building and melt the steel and make the structure collapse.
Hmm.
Right? That logically that all makes sense.
But it wouldn't collapse the way it did.
They got the top.
Well, see,
the
this
top
guy
portion of the
disproved that.
building. The top portion
This
of the
guy
building
disproved
went
that.
through the path of most resistance. Like anything
Right.
that travels through anything goes through the path of least resistance. It's
Right.
the easiest way to travel,
Right.
right? And this building, the top of it fell. Like you can
Yeah.
see it. Like in the video, if you slow it down, the top like portion of the building
Yeah.
collapses in on itself,
Right.
and then the rest of it sort of catches up, and it just keeps going and going and going
Yeah.
and going. It's just like into dust, man, into
Into
absolute
dust, yeah.
nothingness. It's
Yeah.
like why did all of those floors just like
Yeah, man.
like explode into
Explode.
Well,
nothing?
and there
Yeah.
was
What happened?
people. There was people saying that they saw guys going in there
Mhm.
like late at night and stuff or whatever.
Overnight cruise.
Yeah, like overnight cruise and
Cleaning
shit,
cruise,
like
yeah.
doing shit, but they were like weird dudes they never saw before and like
Mhm.
fucking whatever. And like whatever, that could be explained by some other fucking thing. But there's just so much surrounding it
Yeah.
that it's just like, okay, man.
When
like,
when
what the
you're
fuck?
in your like the routine of your day, the average everyday person isn't going to pick up on that, you know what I mean? Like maybe everybody the night before saw all these people, you know what I mean, or you know what I mean, cleaners
But they wouldn't
or
have put
whatever.
it, like anything
They
to it.
never put it together, yeah, for sure. And then the next day they come in, and well, if you saw the thing on Netflix, there's one of the interviewees, I guess. She survived, and she actually was in her office that was above where the second plane hit. So she was like above where the plane hit, and she
Right.
survived. So that's fucking like
That's crazy.
that's crazy, yeah, pretty crazy.
Fucking forget who it is. Somebody's mom was supposed to be on one of those planes.
Yeah,
No
oh,
way.
yeah.
I almost want to say it was fucking Pete Davidson, but I think that's only because his dad. Yeah,
Okay,
I want to
yeah.
say it was him. If it wasn't him,
His
then-
dad was
then-
a service.
no, I know. Yeah, that I know that for sure. But I just if it wasn't him who said the thing about his mom, he might have been part of that same conversation where someone else told that story or something.
Oh right,
Um,
yeah.
But yeah, just crazy though. I think it's all fucked up. Like, and
There's a lot of fucked up things
even
going
too,
on. Like,
one thing that fucked me up about that whole situation was there was like a big speech that fucking Bush gave at Ground Zero, and he was basically like, "We're gonna go get those bastards,"
Yeah.
you know.
Mhm.
And everyone's freaking out, like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah," and he kind of stands back from the podium and he's like,
My work here's done.
and like looks at everyone like he's just like,
Yeah.
success. Yeah, he's just
You-
feeding
you
on
know-
"Get
it.
angry, my people," you know.
how
like,
many people would have joined?
Oil.
You know how many people would have fucking joined the military at that time?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
man, so many people.
Yeah.
did.
Because that's
So
what
many
it
people
is. Give the people fucking someone to hate.
That stopped working though, because it's like as soon as like okay, so they went after Gaddafi and we went after Osama bin Laden
Mhm.
and Saddam Hussein.
Now it's just
And then
been
it
a
was, like,
cycle
ISIS,
of going after
And then
yeah.
like COVID hit and like all the terrorism in the world just like disappeared.
Yeah.
Actually, no. They said ISIS was in. It was either Israel or wherever like that shit was going on,
Yeah.
or not Israel. Yeah, was it Israel?
Saudi Arabia?
No,
No.
like the Jewish and the Israel.
Jerusalem.
So that's Israel
Jerusalem
and,
or
like,
whatever.
Palestine.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so
yeah.
it was either that they were in there or they're in with the Taliban right now or something like that.
Taliban
So
is
the ISIS
in-
was like mentioned at some point or whatever about, like I said, it was either the Taliban thing or that war with the
Okay, it's just
Israel
not
or whatever.
regularly in this news cycle anymore.
No,
You
man,
know,
I
it's like
predicted ISIS.
there's a new fucking like boogeyman and it's a virus that.
Well, that's
Yeah.
I predicted ISIS because I was like, oh, apparently they found like oil. I saw a thing on the news. They found oil in northern Quebec or something like that, right? And it was
Mhm.
like bigger than fucking Texas or some shit, right? And then at the same time, they also found like oil in Syria.
Yeah.
And whenever I first heard the Quebec thing, I'm like, oh no. I'm like, states are coming for us. I'm like, oh shit, you know? And then at the same time too, we have like business with them, so I guess it wouldn't matter. They get it anyways from us.
But that'd be huge. It'd be like literally World
We
War
ship our
III.
shit right to them. Well, we ship our
Yeah.
shit right to them anyways, so
can
they get
never
it. They
do
wouldn't.
what- yeah.
They wouldn't care. They wouldn't care to fight us for it because we give it to
Mhm.
them anyways. But I was like, if they're gonna find a problem with anybody, once they said the Syria thing, I'm like, it's gonna be Syria. And I was like, watch this. Like the next new fucking like I was gonna say ISIS, not new ISIS. The new like fucking terrorist thing is gonna be this thing from fucking Syria, so they can go get the oil, you know.
Mhm.
And it was like fucking 4 or 5 years later, and I never said anything to anybody. I just fucking watched that thing on the news and was like, oh yeah, in my head.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like 4 or 5 years later, they're like, oh yeah, no, there's like this ISIS, and like we got to get them, and like
Yeah.
oh whatever, and they go on about it, and I'm like, where's this fucking ISIS thing from, anyways? Syria.
And
Syria,
where do,
that's
they,
right.
No
where do
way.
they get their weapons from? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, man. That's the
question.
other thing. Yeah, they were dropped all the fucking weapons.
oh well, Americans have been there, and yeah, they just scoop up what
They're
America
in
left
Iraq, right? They
behind.
left all their shit there.
Yeah,
so,
they
like,
just
when
left it there.
no, and
'cause-
even the Syrians though, when they like the ISIS and the Syria shit first started,
Mhm.
the states flew over and dropped a bunch of guns to them.
Right.
Yeah, by accident or whatever. Like it was supposed to be for them or whatever, but it was like by accident they gave them a bunch of guns.
Accidentally
Right.
on purpose.
But man, how like there's no accidents, man. They just gave fucking the Taliban a bunch of shit. But
Oh,
think
for
about
sure,
it.
yeah.
Think of fucking history of the states, man. Like, what was the? I'm not using this movie. I'm using this movie as an example because this is true history.
Mhm.
But American Made. Fucking, they
Yeah,
had
yeah.
the people come and train here and shit like that, and like
Yeah.
whatever, and then they ended up fucking leaving, and they left a bunch of fucking guns and shit there, which, whatever. I guess that was the whole thing. They were
Yeah.
trading the guns for the blow, and the fucking everyone was
yeah.
sharing the guns.
World
but it-
history is actually created by just like an incredibly huge like criminal organization.
Oh, yeah.
Like the masquerade as the governments.
But I just mean like it's like how many times have they given the ops guns? How many
Yeah.
times have they trained the ops? Like
Yeah.
you know what I
Oh,
mean?
it's so many times.
And then it's like even too in that movie they show they're trying to build like these people for the
Well, that's
people
how
that hate. You
Al-Qaeda
know what I
was, like,
mean?
built, right? They like so when
9/11.
Russia was fighting Afghanistan,
Mm.
we funded and trained and armed
Yeah.
the Afghanis
Right.
against Russia,
Right.
and they created Al Qaeda and like their little whatever.
Yeah.
And then years later, now they're, using all that against.
Us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But yeah, and like
Just
I said,
they create their own problems.
Yeah.
it's like whenever I saw that in that movie though, I'm like, that's real? And they're like, yeah. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, that actually happened? They're like, yeah. They're like, fucking, not only did they bring them here and train them, but they were going there and training them. They were giving them fucking guns and shit. I'm
Mhm.
like, what? But it was because too, like they wanted they had the war on drugs and then they had the fucking war on these guys too, right? And it was like, again, create this fucking issue for these people to fucking be all
Yeah.
aroused about or whatever, you
Yeah.
know? Fucking
To make it
shit.
publicly accepted for what they're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For sure. When it's like not right at all. You know.
I don't mean to change the subject, but did anybody crack the code? I assume he's. Yeah, I thought of it after.
Oh, no,
I assume he's replying to stuff we were saying at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Gold bars.
Oh.
Yeah. Beats. But until then, he was trying to say he's just talking along with what we've been talking about. And
Well, that's what I was
basically,
saying. I
he's
just
talking
figured
about,
it-
like basically.
But I didn't know. I must have been whenever I was in the washroom. Maybe
Yeah.
or something.
He's saying put him in a sea can with me on the boat, and I shot and didn't call safety.
That was me. I ate UK Taco Bell.
Didn't call safety.
I'm not sure what he's referring to.
Oh, he's just saying he shit on him. Basically, safety is like that old school like
Doorknob.
Yeah,
safety.
doorknob
yeah.
and
No, I
safety
get it,
beat. Yeah.
The beat.
But yeah, fucking, I don't know. You want to talk about it a little bit before we
beats. What?
do whatever we do?
What's that?
Gold bars.
I don't know. Is it fucking month? Is it? Yeah, I guess.
Getting pretty close. We could talk about it.
Well, I mean,
Explain what it is.
I just
what
don't
we're
know
gonna
what's
do.
going on yet. We have
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
We have to like make it a thing before we can like tell people about it.
Yeah.
Kind of like the giveaway I was talking about earlier. We shouldn't have said anything.
Shit.
But
yeah.
I just mean like, what are we gonna say, right? Like, we're gonna
Well,
do
just-
gold bars again, but we don't know when or how or if or like
It's yeah. Well, it's coming.
we don't even know what we're giving away.
Yeah.
We don't even know. Like,
If you remember what gold bars is, well, it's coming, and we're getting it set up, and we'll announce the beats that we have. We'll like post those live soon, once it's all set up. And yeah, if you don't remember last year, I don't know. You want to tell them about last year? We had a
Yeah.
gold bar, chocolate gold bar, and what was it, $100? $100 cash for the winner.
$100. I think so. I forget.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, this year will be much of the same. We're pretty well putting it together now, but it's going to be our next contest that goes live soon. So be on the lookout for that.
Giggity.
Giggity giggity.
So I have this movie in my backpack because Bully gave it back to me. The movie Kids.
Hell yeah.
You ever seen that one movie, Kids? No, but I saw a porno with Slim Doomy in it. Anyways, good movie. Watch it if you can. Well, he said it was a weird movie. Said he thing is he's never seen it until now, and I would always be like, oh, it's like the movie Kids. Oh yeah, you never seen it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like like oh, I learned how to roll a blunt in the movie Kids. He's like, I've never seen it. Like, oh shit, yeah. So finally he watched it, but he was like, yeah, it's kind of fucking weird.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I guess like
It's
as
definitely like
an adult, it's weird. He's like, this
Right.
fucking one ugly kid's
was a
like
different
making
time.
out with these girls, like fucking like he's like kissing them all weird and shit. And I was like, yeah, I guess, yeah. Like,
I didn't see it till you let me borrow it, but
yeah,
I feel like I got a pretty good open mind with movies, and I actually like older movies like that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Have you seen '90s Kid?
Oh, that's the one that
forget.
Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill. Yeah.
Ju-
So-
Oh
it-
yeah, I
it-
did. Yeah,
Yeah, it's new, but it's shot like the '90s or
Yeah.
whatever, and I just like that. You know what I mean? I
it
like
was all
that
shot
older-
on 8 or not 8, 35 mil or something like that.
No,
or
yeah,
like
yeah.
it was he like did that on purpose.
Yeah, for sure. And I like that. Like I like that look. So
He took this guy's style too, like for that. I forget
Oh,
the
no.
guy's name.
no doubt, the director
Yeah, but he does.
right there, filmed by excuse me.
Oh yeah, Larry Clark. So he's he actually does skate videos and shit,
Oh yeah.
and I think he's done like a couple little movies and shit, but this was one of his biggest projects, I guess.
No doubt.
And but yeah, and the thing is that's one of the things that people liked about the movie was like how it was filmed and shit.
Right.
Like it was like a different, like it was more raw or whatever.
And that's it. It like movies kind of create an atmosphere for themselves. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like when you watch that, it's like you relate with it so much because it's almost like it was fucking recorded beside you in a way. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
even Bully was like, man, he's like, it's almost like they just took a bunch of kids and were just like, kid, go.
Yeah.
And then just like film them and
Yeah.
shit. Because a lot of it is just like, whatever.
Yeah. But that's what I like about it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's not scripted like a Hollywood movie. You like watch it and you figure it out yourself. Like it's like, oh, it's like the camera just started rolling on
Yeah.
a week of these kids' lives, yeah.
It's always got those hot pockets and shit. Down at the booth, they steal the 40 of beer and shit. What a good
Yeah.
movie though. I love
Yeah,
it.
it's classic.
Just reminds me of fucking being young, I guess.
That's
Because like,
it.
I guess I was young and watching this movie.
Yeah. It's funny too because when you're young watching the movie, you're thinking like, oh, I want to like, I don't know, what's the right word? Like, I want to be like that or like, and you're doing that, but you're always thinking like, I want to like be like that or whatever. And then it takes you to get older to be oh fucking like that was the time, like I thought it was ahead of my
Right,
time,
you're
but
always-
I was in
yeah.
it right
Oh,
then and there, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Yeah, I remember thinking of that when I first got Eminem. I was like, I always thought fucking like, oh, like I can just picture, I don't know, like this whole scenario, but like I don't know, I could even go about explaining it. Basically what I just said, like I thought it was like before my time, and I was always like, yeah, I want to like smoke weed, listen to this music, and like it's so ahead of my time. But like, and I look back at it, and I'm like,
Those were the
days. Times. Like you
Yeah.
were in the times right then and
We're
there.
doing
Yeah,
it.
like it wasn't like a year ahead of you. You're like there right then. Yeah.
Drinking 40. Good times. I fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
It's also too. It also like I feel like it also just reminds me of a time of my life too. Like
Yeah.
it's
right.
like it could be like fucking any other movie. You know what I mean? Like, it could be Lion King or some shit. But it was just the fact that I watched it in that time, or like I watched it a lot
Yeah.
in that time. It reminds me of that
like
time.
brings
You know.
right back to that
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
I only say the Lion King because I just mean like it's not the content in it
Yeah.
that may. It's just the like. It just reminds me of when I first saw it, type thing. You
Mhm.
know. Things
Yeah.
were simpler. There's no COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
The good old days.
Coming
Yeah.
of age movie, man.
I wonder when this fucking movie came out, though. I think it's 95 or some shit. Doesn't
Yeah,
say
that
at
would
all.
make sense.
Does not
No?
fucking say.
It should.
No.
If not, I'll find it.
No.
Really? Eh?
Weird. Nope.
Usually by like the runtime at the bottom, it'll say, but I'll have it here pretty soon. I think you're right. Cause what?
1995. It was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
95. Yeah.
Look at me go.
Cause yeah, what is it? 99 when Eminem made that album and made that famous reference to
Oh,
kids.
2001
So.
or no 2000? No. Oh no, it was just called 2001. Chronic 2001.
Oh, that was off of
No, was it not? It was
Dr. Dre's.
what do you call it?
for-
The one where they go back and forth. It's like
Yeah, guilty conscience.
yeah, because
Oh,
he's talking about
yeah.
banging that girl. He's banging the girl or whatever.
Yeah.
That's passed out or whatever. And then he's
Yeah.
like, hey, "Ain't you ever seen that one movie,
Yeah,
kids?"
right.
And then because Dre says
Yeah,
that, and
that's
then
right. That's actually off the Slim Shady LP.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought it
it
was
is.
fucking okay.
The
I thought it
Chronic,
was
yeah.
on the Chronic. Yeah.
No, I could totally see that, but yeah, that's definitely
Did you ever seen that one movie, kid?
yeah.
No,
It's
but
like
I've
the
seen
third
one with
song.
Slim Doobie in it.
Yeah.
Shit. It actually took me a while to figure out that's what he said, and then whenever I figured it out, I was like, "That's cool. I've seen it."
Yeah,
Shit. What was it? So, what did you say that was? Slim Shady LP? Was the
Yeah.
second one?
First one.
I thought. Oh, yeah. Was
First
it?
album.
Yeah.
Second album. Infinite. Then that one.
I thought Marshall Mathers was the first one.
No, that was the second one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's rumors that he's gonna do a third, apparently.
Holy shit! I thought last one was the last album.
Yeah, I know, right? He did just drop a single for a movie, but he's like featured on it. It's not his song.
Mm.
He's featured on it.
Who is it?
Polo G and Skylar Grey. It's her song. Polo G, Eminem, and there's someone else on there, but I'm not gonna get it right now.
Polo G's fire.
His verse is dope. I think he has the first verse and it's pretty dope. I like it. And for those who don't know, Eminem's gonna be fucking doing the Super Bowl halftime show. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Kendrick Lamar,
That's
That's a
right.
crazy lineup.
Mary J. Blige. Yeah, that'll be a good Super Bowl. Doesn't matter who's playing. Fucking, they'll probably get half the whole world just tune into
Yeah,
that.
no kidding.
Yeah, 20 minutes of just
I wonder how much that cost them.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, yeah. If there was a stadium tour, I'd really try and go to that. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be a good show.
No doubt, that'd be huge.
Yeah, so the half hour, 20 minutes they'll put on there, whew,
Yeah, fuck.
you know?
They're all like old men now, though. If you
Yeah,
think about it,
yeah.
like,
Wonder how much
But-
that's gonna cost.
Kendrick will be the one to bring the energy for sure.
Yeah,
and
he's-
he's
yeah.
been gone, like,
That's
since
true, man.
Humble.
yeah.
He's been quiet since, like,
That's
2015 or
Didn't
something.
he just release something though?
He has that single that I've been playing in my truck while we've been driving home or whatever, but I don't think he has an album out or anything. I could be wrong.
Oh, I thought. Nope. 2017. It says.
17, yeah. That makes more sense than 15.
Holy shit!
Yeah, Jeezy dropped that new album today.
Oh yeah,
These
yeah.
things happen too. He's got a song with Wayne on it.
Oh nice,
Yeah.
nice.
And he's got what? Tumblr Girls?
Yeah,
Remember
yeah.
that one? He's
Yeah.
got like a part 2 to that.
Oh no way.
Yeah.
I like that song
Me
actually.
too, yeah. Who was the dude that produced that? It was like the vibe. It was like the vibe of that whole album, though. You know what I mean?
Fuck,
Like
I don't
the,
know. Like that song or the album?
like just the sound of G-Eazy back then. You know what I mean? Like that.
No, but the producer. You're saying who produced it? You
yeah,
mean
it
the
was
album
like
or the song?
J something.
Jay Dilla.
Might just be the song though. Yeah, because I think he
called?
did a couple of them. Tumblr Girls.
Let's see. Christoph Anderson, featured
Okay.
artist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Can't find the fucking. No.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go for a third ding there, boys.
Fuck. What was I just looking up?
Oh, I forget.
Oh, the
I was
Tumblr girls. Sorry,
distracted.
yeah. Easy producer. I guess it doesn't matter, but I just thought I'd see. Doesn't show. Does not show. Just says featuring this guy. J-Ant. There we go. That's probably what he's talking about.
J-Ant. Yeah. He said J something.
So that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah.
There was like a list of names. I was gonna say Black Bear, and actually the Black Bear, I didn't say it because I thought he was just a featured artist, but it says he was a producer on some of the songs too. It's gang.
Maybe they get producer rights if they're just in the room. They're just like,
Yeah. Like, can he help? Yeah.
He said do this thing one time.
Yeah, I got him a water while he was writing that song. So I'm in. Fuck.
Man, that we've been on 2 hours almost. That's crazy.
Shut up, really?
Well, an hour and 40 minutes, so just over an hour and a half.
I must have been looking at my phone wrong. Oh, wait, no. I don't know, weird. Or my time was wrong?
Why? What do you mean?
Or time went by really fast in the last hour. But I remember looking, it was 9:30.
Yeah.
Like, literally, it feels like it was 10 minutes ago. I looked, it was like 9:30, and I was like
10:30. Yeah, that is actually crazy.
Yeah.
It went by quick.
shit, oh, well. That's sick. Yeah, no, that fucking seemed to go by pretty quick. Anybody in the chat have anything they want to hear about? At the same time, too, again, if you haven't already voted for me, go vote for me. Link is in the chat.
Go vote for him right
or
now.
It's link is in our bio
That's right.
as well. But yeah, go check it out. We'll be there.
Super easy to vote. Just sign into your Facebook. Done. Every day. Doesn't even post to your account, so
You probably sign into your Facebook every day, anyways.
exactly.
User.
So like, just one step extra.
Usually you might have it automatic. Here you gotta put in your password, so I've had the same fucking account since 07 or 09.
That's
Password, yeah. For sure.
Well,
Fucking right, boys. Well,
Okay, sorry.
I'm trying to.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, man. Like it I have to like refresh this every time now to like get the time information and everything. It's weird. It's like my laptop's slowing down.
like
Like once I start the stream on here, eventually I have to like refresh it to get to see how long we've been going for and
Oh, I see, I
everything.
see.
Yeah.
This is an hour and 42 minutes to me.
Yeah, 102 for us.
Well, that's been episode 48.
Episode 48.
One
We're closing in on 150, man.
Fucking right. I'll have to fuck some shit up.
And it's holiday season upon us too.
What's next?
Is there a Halloween episode? Do we have to get dressed up?
Halloween episode.
Halloween. Oh, you know what? I have to talk to you guys about that. I don't know if I want to do it live, but when we're off live, I'll talk to you
Yeah.
guys about that one.
So 2
You're not
days.
coming trick or treating.
Eh?
You're not coming trick or treating.
Trick or treating's on Sunday.
Two. Not next episode, but the next episode will be the 150.
Yeah.
I don't know who we have yet. I haven't
think
been
it's
given a name.
I think it's. Oh, right. Yeah.
But there's definitely someone coming in. I was given a couple names. I just don't know which one's coming when or
Right.
where. But
Y'all want to tune in for that one, though, because it's big names from the city.
yeah.
Big platform from the city. We'll keep it a surprise for now, just for y'all excitement.
Yeah, we're switching lanes here.
Yeah, this
I'm
will
gonna
be
go
a
ahead and
first.
say it,
Yeah.
fucking battle rapper, but
Yeah.
we'll have a battle rapper.
Yeah, that'll be a first for us. Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be a first. Maybe they'll
Fucking
spit
right.
some bars for us. Maybe instead of rapping or battling us, they will what do you call it? Compliment us.
Yeah.
compliment battle.
Right. Yeah.
Do us like a little instead of spitting bars, they'll like spit compliments for us.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That'd be pretty dope. Yeah, that'll actually be a change for us, and I look forward to it.
fucking right.
And you know what? I just want to say thanks, bro, for fucking holding us down like that, keeping us moving forward.
Yeah, fuck yeah. That reminds me, I have to get a hold of them to see what. Should I pull up? Purple Haze Nation? Should I pull up? If you're close by, pull up.
Oh, for sure. If you're close by,
Well,
always pull up.
We're about to shut her down. We were going to shut her down, but if you're like that close, then
Yeah,
pop by.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Should I pull up? Wonder if he means now or if he means for the 150 or.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's right. That'd be dope, though.
Yeah.
150, yeah. We'll probably be celebrating a bit that night, so, yeah. Come through
Sorry.
Bro Media. I think we announced it last week, didn't we? That would, there'd be a bit of a change in the studio. Did we?
Do we?
think
I don't know.
so.
I didn't know.
I think we
we?
did. Yeah, I think you did mention something about it.
I did?
I think so.
I don't know. That's weird because Bully today was like, so today's your last episode? I was like, oh, last episode of what? And then he's
Yeah.
like, no, like in the studio. And I was like, I don't know. I'm like, that's the fucking first time I heard of it.
No.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, either way, if you roll by, we'll probably be out front smoking one. We'll always touch base. Haha. Yo, shout out Devontae Poems.
Sorry.
Much love, Devontae.
Oh, he's a little ways away. Oh shit! You know what
Yeah.
though? Next time though, fucking honestly, next time this happens, I will actually just hit you up and see if you want to come on. That's Vontae, by the way.
Hell yeah.
Shit. No, now I feel bad. Yeah. But yeah, no, we won't wait. We're gonna fucking get out of here. But next time, yeah, or if we just started, I would tell you to fucking come.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
actually, while you're here, you could click the link that's pinned in the chat, and then you could vote for me, please and thank you.
Yeah, it's the top one.
And then
Top one.
if you could keep doing that once a day,
It's for a good cause.
it'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for our cause.
And it could be for your own cause, too. We would.
And the plan B? Is it
Plan
no?
B, B
B
plus
plus.
or B positive or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
be positive. That's it.
Yeah.
We win, y'all win.
Yeah. Anyways, all right. So I guess we've already decided we're gonna shut her down. Extended goodbye sequence.
Yeah.
Thank you everybody for tuning in. Again, I just said it, but I would like if you were to go and vote for me on the Dad Bod contest, and yeah, we could all win together. And it's great prizes, and you might see our faces in a motherfucking magazine, which would be sick.
Hey.
But I just think that if anybody out of this whole list of people is going to win it, it's going to be me, because I have such great people like you guys fucking fighting for me and fighting for us and standing behind us.
Damn
Some of you
right.
guys even stand in front of us.
Hey, man.
Like, not in a weird way. I just mean like
For sure.
some of you guys are ready to fight
Right
for
there.
us.
Take the bullets right
Not just
for
with
us.
us,
Yeah.
for us. But anyway, so yeah, either way, thank you to all of you who have voted. Thank you to all of you who are watching and have watched. And most importantly, thank you if you do choose to vote in the future again.
Yeah.
Cut off this Friday. But anyways, thanks for tuning in. Gang, do you guys have anything to say?
I love y'all. Keep watching. We'll be back next Friday.
That's right. Hit that subscribe button.
So what up?
Yes,
I'm Styles the
absolutely.
Prophet, baby.
I'm B Show.
And I'm Jonesy.
Together with the Basement Weirdos, and this is the 4G Audio Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. I'm dragging it out because I don't want it to end.
Yeah.
Peace out, everybody. Yeah.
Catch y'all in the next one.
Cha-cha.